Welcome to Morrow, Georgia, on the campus of Clayton State University. Trevor Williams with you tonight for Peach Belt Conference Tournament semifinal basketball between UNC Pembroke and Francis Marion. The I-95 rivalry has moved south about 5 hours towards Atlanta as the Braves and the Patriots will have the rubber match Game 3 of this season series, having split their first two meetings earlier this year. The Braves winning at home in Pembroke the last time these two played, and Francis Marion, they got the better end of the first meeting in Florence, South Carolina, 90-60 that first time around, behind a fantastic 27-point outing for Dietrich Browning. He's the Peach Belt Conference Player of the Year, and he's ready to go toe-to-toe against the Braves. 16 points shy of a Peach Belt Conference scoring record. That would be at 2,334 points. He comes into play tonight with 2,318 for the Patriots. We're going to get to talk to their head coach, Gary Edwards, about that a little later on in the pregame show. For the number 24 UNC Pembroke Braves, a regular season co-championship in the Peach Belt Conference with the Clayton State Lakers. They're now playing on the Lakers floor for a chance to take on Clayton State and settle that little co-regular season championship title tomorrow afternoon, as the winner of this game here tonight will go on to play the Lakers at 2 p.m. tomorrow in the championship game here at the Lock. And that's what they call the Clayton State Athletics and Fitness Center. The final score in the earlier game today, Clayton State 73-70 over USC Aiken. So the one seed in the PBC tournament has already cemented themselves in the tournament championship game. The Braves and the Patriots trying to find a way to get there. When we take a look at the quarterfinal games for UNC Pembroke and Francis Marion, we'll start with the Patriots, who are the visiting team by jersey tonight inside this Athletics and Fitness Center here at Clayton State. Dietrich Browning did what about he's done all year, 24 points, moved him into second place in Peach Belt Conference career scoring list for the guard, who averages a conference best 25 points per game. Francis Marion had 5 players in double figures as they pulled away in the second half to register the 83-54 win over the University of North Georgia. That was Wednesday night in Florence, the first Peach Belt Conference tournament game that the Francis Marion Patriots had hosted there in their school's history. It was just their second postseason tournament game there for the Patriots in their school history as well, going back to their NAIA days. They got to their first 20-win campaign since 2004. That's also the only other time that Francis Marion has made the Division II NCAA tournament in school history. So they are into that 20-win season at 20-8, 14-8 in the PBC. The Braves wrapped up 19-3 in the PBC and now are 24-5 on the heels of a 70-54 win over Georgia Southwestern on Wednesday night. And the Braves, they ran early in that contest, opposed to Francis Marion, who pulled away in the second half. The Braves had a 14-point lead at the break at 36-22. Georgia Southwestern paced a little better in the second half, but could not come back on the Braves. Zakiya Pruitt scored a team-best 15 points on 7-9 shooting, and the Braves, the 2 seed here in this tournament, got that 16-point victory over GSW. Their bench an astounding 35-0 mark over the Hurricanes in that quarterfinal matchup. Ben Miller says it's like he has 8 starters. He's got 3 guys on the all-conference team. We're going to get a chance to talk to him in the pregame show about all of those players and the plan of attack tonight against the Patriots in this rivalry matchup in the Peach Belt Conference Tournament. First, we'll take a timeout. We'll come back and visit with Gary Edwards, the head coach of Francis Marion. That's coming to you on the pregame show with tip-off just over 13 minutes away here on the UNCP Sports Network.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Adidas is the official apparel sponsor for all 16 of UNC Pembroke varsity athletic teams. Adidas provides some of the most innovative products in the shoe and apparel industry and is one of the most recognizable brands worldwide. We thank Adidas for all its support in offering UNC Pembroke the best for its student athletes. Go Braves!
We're back here on the pregame show as UNC Pembroke getting ready to take on Francis Marion in the semifinal round of the PBC tournament. Joining us now, the head coach of the Patriots, Gary Edwards. And Coach, let's start with this. Your team was preseason picked 10th in the conference. Now here you guys are in the semifinals against the team that was picked to win the whole thing. What's the biggest difference that you see in your team now than maybe you saw in the first couple weeks of the season?
Well, I think we're playing pretty good defense now. We've always had Dietrich Browning, which has been a big plus for us, that's for sure. He's had an unbelievable senior year, player of the year, of course. But here recently, we've started really playing some pretty solid defense. And, we have a sign up in our locker rooms, defense wins championships. So, we have some pretty good potent scorers, and we can score the ball. But I think, playing defense is what gets us into the semifinals here today. And if we're ultimately going to move forward, I think defense will be what'll do it.
Well, there's no beating around the bush with Dietrich Browning, the player of the year in the PBC. Let's talk about him and the player he's been for you throughout his career at Francis Marion. I mean, 16 points shy of the Peach Belt Conference record. Is it safe to say that he's the best player you've ever coached?
Yeah, well, I tell you, he does more with what he has than any player I've ever had. I've had some pretty physically talented guys, but Dietrich, he just knows how to play, and he has the heart of a lion. And I've never had a player have a senior year like he's had, that's for sure. I mean, he's just been outstanding all year long, and a lot of our, motivation has been to keep extending the season for him. We want to keep playing, for him and our other seniors as well.
Where you guys sit right now in the region rankings, it's looking like a good shot to be in the second NCAA tournament for you guys in your school history. Let's just talk about what has happened lately for your team in terms of the offense continuing to pick up a lot of 100-plus point games. Where have you seen the biggest growth over the last couple weeks?
Well, we've made shots. I think we've had a pretty good offense all year, and most games we've made shots. There have been a few games we haven't, and when we don't make shots, we struggle, like any team, really. You've got to make shots. And we've been making a bunch of them recently, knock on wood, and hopefully that'll continue. Pembroke's got a great defense. They did a great job against us at Pembroke. So, we know it's going to be a tough game today, a grind-it-out kind of game. But it'll help if we can hit a few shots, that's for sure.
The head coach of the Patriots, Gary Edwards, with us right now on the UNC Pembroke pregame show. And Coach, when we talk about those two meetings with UNCP, you guys got them at your place, and then they were able to get revenge back at home. What were the biggest differences you saw? You mentioned their defense in the second meeting. What were the biggest differences in those two contests?
Yeah, I think definitely the second contest, they really played great defense. We struggled, all night. And yet, when we look at the film, we got some confidence from it because we got off to such a poor start, and then we came back and we tied it. We had about 6 possessions where we could have taken the lead,
right,
and we never did. So then it became a grinded-out affair. So even that game, we still feel pretty good about ourselves that we hung in there against a great team. And the first game was just a classic, FMU UNCP game, back and forth, and we got lucky down the end. So, I think it'll be a great game. I think it's a great matchup. I think the two teams match up pretty well together. And I anticipate, the rubber game of the match.
Right.
I think it'll be a barn burner here today.
And then the last thing, Coach, when you look at those last 6 meetings between your guys' two teams, it's always gone to the home team. Well, today there's no true home team here at Clayton State. What's the biggest key for you guys in terms of generating your own energy on your bench and your side?
Well, we've been pretty good about that all year. There's some games we have a lot of crowd. We don't have much crowd sometimes, so we generate our own enthusiasm. Probably it's not going to be a whole lot of people in here. I don't know. You never know.
Yeah.
You never know how it's going to be. But I think both teams know each other well enough that there's so much pride and competitiveness between the players. Dietrich and Brandon and all those guys, Brandon Watts and all those guys who played against each other for a long time. It's for bragging rights. So it'll be a great game, I think. And, it's pretty neat that, we're only, an hour away down from,
right,
and then we're meeting here. We could have met in Lumberton maybe play a game in Lumberton.
Yeah, just about halfway point right there.
Exactly. But no, I'm sure both teams are glad to be here, and we're excited to get started, get playing today.
It'll be fun to have the rivalry here in Morrow. Thanks for the time, Coach, and good luck against the Braves.
Always a pleasure. Thanks.
That was.
Have you rewarded yourself lately? Now's your chance. Download #BraveNation, the free student rewards app for UNC Pembroke. Receive notifications about exclusive information within Brave Nation. Earn points for attending select Brave events. More points equal more rewards. Reward yourself today with #BraveNation. That's #BRAVE Nation. Available for free in the Google Play and App Store. #BraveNation. Get rewarded.
Across divisions, sports, championships, and schools, for nearly 500,000 student athletes, college sports create lifelong opportunity, and that starts with education. We've raised the academic bar, so more are earning degrees, creating healthier campuses by working with the nation's brightest minds, and making sure more have the chance to succeed and are supported on their journey. But beyond the numbers, it's about opportunity, and we're working to provide it for every student athlete.
Back here on the pregame show with the head coach of the Braves, Ben Miller. And Coach, here you guys are on the road in the PBC tournament. A familiar story from where you were a season ago. How excited are you now to get down to business today in a very tough kind of I-95 rivalry that just moved its way a little bit south against Francis Marion?
Yeah, it's a fun time of year for the players, the fans, the coaches. I mean, the whole year's been very exciting, but, this is, for basketball people, this is probably your favorite time of year. March Madness, conference tournaments, and it's going to be a great ball game this afternoon.
We'll start with you, a little bit of a different look, maybe some incentivizing here, but you got the lines on the haircut on the side. What's going on there?
I'm glad this is just radio and not TV, so
right.
They can't really see them. But so anyway, I told the guys if we won the conference regular season again that they've been after me to shave my head. So after we won senior day, I guess it was, they brought the clippers in the locker room. I thought, oh man, this is going to be bad.
Right.
So I said, how about a compromise? How about you take me to one of your barbers and give me a fresh cut? And so they laughed and said, all right, and they took me in last week and give me I guess they call it a fade with a couple lines on the side. So we had fun with it. It'll grow out eventually.
Yeah, it's not a bad look for you, Coach.
Yeah,
it's a good one. When you look at Francis Marion, a team that kind of stark differences in how their offense performed against you guys in games 1 and 2 during the regular season when you split. Allowed 90 in the first meeting, only 60 the second time around. Where did you see the biggest pickup in your defense between the two games?
Well, matchup-wise, we put Brandon Watts on Dietrich, and Brandon's a senior, all-conference player. Dietrich obviously is, all-conference player of the year in the league. And, Dietrich's not the kind of guy you're going to stop from scoring, but, you got to make him work for it. And Brandon did a great job. There were a couple possessions where other guys had that responsibility, either switching on ball screens or when Brandon took a breather. But it was primarily Brandon's responsibility to, make him work for catches, contest shots, and contain the dribble. Now, Dietrich's good enough when you help, he's going to find guys. But we did a better job on him, and then we did a better job shutting down some of their other complementary players that are really good shooters. They're a great three-point shooting team, great in transition. So a lot of combination of factors, but it was a better team effort.
You mentioned their ability in transition. Is that maybe the best part of their game, you think, as an offense, is when they can get out and run? And how important is that to you guys to stop that tonight?
Well, they excel in a lot of areas, but some of the transition, number one, three-point shooting, penetration, especially off ball screens. So those are 3 areas that we've really spent a lot of time and emphasis on in practice.
We had a chance to talk about this a little bit earlier in the week, but you guys had Nigel Grant along with Akia Pruitt and Brandon Watts all taking home all league honors, and then Akia Pruitt with the first Defensive Player of the Year honor for your team. Let's talk about those 3 guys, what they've provided, and probably a couple more Braves in there that could have made cases to be on those all-league teams as well this year.
Yeah, really happy for all the guys, having 2 senior captains that make all conferences special, along with, Akia's honors as all conference, and then Defensive Player of the Year, which is a tremendous accomplishment. I think, as you said, I thought David Strother had strong consideration for Freshman of the Year, and Tyrell, could have been a candidate as well. And then James Murray Boyles, even though he comes off the bench statistically, he's one of the top players in the league. And, fortunately we have guys, I think that the team accomplishments are more important than the individuals. And, Coach Williams, who I worked for a while, always say that teams that win usually gets the awards and the rewards in his country twang. So, it is usually when you get those awards, it means you've had a pretty good season as a team.
head coach of the Braves, Ben Miller, with us right now in the pregame. And Coach, when we look at this matchup in this game for you guys, and we talk about coming to a neutral site, the last 6 meetings between these two teams have gone to the home team. No one gets to be the true home team in this game tonight. So how do you guys provide the energy in this building away from home when both teams are really kind of just leaning on themselves for the energy in the contest?
Yeah. Well, you know, this time of year, motivation and incentive usually isn't a issue. I mean, both teams, I think, are going to compete, play extremely hard. You know, it's kind of cool. We had Mickey and the Maniacs. We got a lot of family members and some other folks here that made the trip down to Clayton State. So I know they'll be cheering loud for the Braves.
And the last thing, earlier today, your dad on staff able to talk to the guys a little bit. Eldon was talking about at this point of the season how once teams have seen each other so many times, you know what each other are going to run, you know what the sets are, you know who the players are, you've seen the scout. What is the biggest difference maker now in these games when you see a team a third time around, and what are the biggest keys for you guys to come out on top?
Well, like you said, I mean, there's no secrets. You know, sometimes teams may tweak some things defensively or make adjustments, and you got to be ready for some of that. But, you know, personnel-wise, we know them, they know us. You know, it's just going to come down to you know, defense, rebounding, you know, taking care of the ball, executing, and, you know, ultimately you got to make some shots as well. But, you know, it's going to be a great ball game. I think 2 of the top 5, 6 teams in the region going at it. That's what it's all about this time of year.
All right, we're looking forward to this matchup. Good luck against Francis Marion. We'll talk to you after, Coach.
All right. Thank you, Trevor.
That was Ben Miller with us on the pregame show. We're going to take a timeout. We'll come back and get you on to that exciting action. Be the opening tip. Lineups coming to you as well right after this here on the UNCP Sports Network.
Lumbee River Electric Membership Corporation belongs to the members it serves. That means their members have a say in how their co-op is run. And with members in charge, you can feel confident that the decisions made are in your best interest and the best interest of your community. Doesn't that sound good? Members know they can trust LREMC because it was created not to make profits, but to deliver on this promise, providing safe, reliable, and affordable electricity. 4 values are the foundation of LREMC's service to its members: innovation, commitment to community, accountability, and integrity. These values represent the cooperative difference and how their co-op earns the trust of members every day.
Attention Brave fans, alumni, and parents. Be sure to visit our official UNCP Braves Athletics online store at shopuncpbraves.com. The interactive website features more than 1,100 products, from exclusive sideline apparel to pet supplies and championship gear. Shop UNCPbraves.com today.
Ever wondered why our sponsor, Lumberton Chevrolet Buick Cadillac GMC, has such a long name? One reason is the tremendous variety of cars and trucks they offer to meet every need. Great-looking Chevrolets, Buicks, Cadillacs, and even GMC SUVs and trucks. They have everything from budget vehicles to the top-of-the-line Cadillacs. So why would you shop anywhere else? Try their quick lube, and while your vehicle is being serviced, you can see for yourself. They are located next to Lumberton High School.
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor. It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
At the Athletics and Fitness Center on the campus of Clayton State, Trevor Williams with you for UNC Pembroke basketball tonight. They're just finishing giving out awards to the all-conference players on these two sides. For the Braves, that, of course, is the trio of Nigel Grant, Brandon Watts, and Akia Pruitt. And for Francis Marion, Dietrich Browning, and Brandon Parker. They've all been honored. They're going to go through the lineups here. We'll come back and give you the starting 5s for both sides, and then we'll be underway with semifinal basketball tonight in the Peach Belt Conference. That's to you right after this here on the UNCP Sports Network.
When UNC Pembroke athletes train and compete, Scotland Healthcare System will be a part of the team as the official healthcare provider for UNCP athletics. Led by Ortho Carolina Scotland orthopedic physician Dr. Richard Alexander, their specialist will cover every football and men's basketball game. From practice drills to kickoff and tip-off, Scotland's medical experts will oversee training staff operations. It's one more way Scotland Healthcare is keeping its commitment to be there for the region, delivering closer care that's better by far.
The PBC is commitment.
The PBC is community.
The PBC is competition.
The PBC is character. We are the PBC.
Welcome back here to the Athletics and Fitness Center at Clayton State University. Trevor Williams with you as we get ready for semifinal basketball in the Peach Belt Conference Tournament between the Francis Marion Patriots and your number 24 UNC Pembroke Braves. The starting five for the visitors here tonight, the Patriots in this neutral site contest. Gary Edwards, the head coach, announcing their starting five. It looks like this, led by PBC Player of the Year Dietrich Browning. Leads the league in scoring at 25 points per game and stands 16 points shy of a PBC scoring record for a career. That would be 2,334 career points. Jacquez Smith is the second of the guards for Francis Marion, the sophomore from Beach Island, South Carolina. Then it's senior forward Judah Alexander, joined by all-PBC third-teamer junior guard Brandon Parker, and then spot shooter senior guard Warren Specht, who can line it up from three, and he scored 14 and 15 points in each of his last two games. The Braves are led by PBC second-teamer Brandon Watts at the guard, with David Strother, the freshman from Lumberton, another true freshman guard for the Braves, Tyrell Kirk, and then their forwards, the sophomore defensive player of the year in the PBC, Akia Pruitt, and Nigel Grant, all PBC first-teamer, the fifth-year senior, rounding out that starting five for Ben Miller and his Braves, as we are ready to go with the opening tip here tonight. Akia Pruitt across from Judah Alexander. Braves in all white, Francis Marion in all red. Braves will go right to left, and Francis Marion left to right as we see it from the left side of the scorer's table tonight. The officials, Archibald Whaley, Robert Worthams, and Charles Balunik, as they set both players in the center circle for this opening tip. Clayton State just winning the earlier game. They've punched their ticket to the championship as the hosts here at home, and Akia Pruitt wins the tip back to his left side. Over his left shoulder to David Strother, and the true freshman guard will start on the dribble for the Braves. As they bring around the perimeter to the near side, there's a trap. They try to throw it back up high to Strother. Do get it there just over the shoulder of Smith. Strother firing into the far side corner to Kirk for a three ball, and Tyrell Kirk opens the scoring for the Braves tonight with a three out of the far side corner pocket. Braves the early 3-0 lead just 20 seconds in. Dietrich Browning on offense going up high with Judah Alexander. Surveying from the point and a high handoff with Warren Specht. Goes back over to the left wing with Browning. He'll slow down the dribble, cross it back and forth as he takes it up near the logo, Clayton State at mid-floor. Over to our right, goes back out of the corner, back up high to Browning. 6 to shoot, dribbling left side of Grant into the far side corner for the Patriots, and they answer with a three from Brandon Parker. The third teamer out of the PBC, trading blows with the Braves as the opening trays go to either side. It's a 3-3 score here in our first minute of play. Tyrell Kirk with it up near the timeline. His heels almost pressed there. Grant has it on the right elbow, back up high to Kirk for a just left to circle three. That's not there. Pruitt tapping a rebound high. Braves trying to control, but it's into the paws of Judah Alexander. Francis Marion will race left to right with it. They go to Dietrich Browning on the left wing, but colliding with Brandon Watts with Jacquez Smith, and he'll be called for the foul. His first personal and the first foul tonight for either side, as we're a minute 14 in. 18:46 left in the first half, and UNC Pembroke tied up with Francis Marion at 3. Tyrell Kirk a three ball for the Braves, and Brandon Parker with one for the Patriots. Watts to it with two high hands on the far side, going along the sideline down to the baseline with Nigel Grant. 18 feet extended, he lobs a rainbow out to the left wing to Kirk. Into the corner to Strother on the near side. He drives baseline, kicks out right wing to Brandon Watts for three. That shot's not there, just rolling off left iron. And the guard in the paint to grab it for the Patriots is Dietrich Browning. He'll go left to right across the timeline, drop it on a bounce pass to Warren Specht on the right wing. Looking inside, it circles out the far side over to the left wing with Parker. Back up high for Smith, pulls up right elbow for two, a little too long off the back end of the iron, and Brandon Watts able to pull the rebound down the side of the key. He's bumped by Jude Alexander in the backcourt, no whistles come, and Watts carries it on free into the front court right to left. Pruitt has it up high on a lob pass. He takes a three from just left to circle, and that's off the left end of the iron. Out into the far side corner with the rebound is Parker. He throws it length of floor down to Smith towards the end line. Beats Pruitt, but can't get the lay-in to stick as it hangs on the front end of the iron. Pruitt almost had a block off the glass, and then it fell back down to the hands of the Braves. Tyrell Kirk has it front court with a right-handed dribble for UNCP. 3-3 tie, 17:39 to go first half. Near side corner, Strother on a feed from Grant. Tries a three, that comes up short. Braves all perimeter shooting early. Only one makes. It's still tied 2.5 in this first half of play. Browning has it off the right wing, a left hip side dribble, crossing it back and forth. He'll offer up high for Jacquez Smith. Gary Edwards' 12th season in a head coaching spot in D2. Of course, he has the long D1 history as well as Browning drives the baseline down to the right side and lays it in, and Ben Miller is hot at his defense. He couldn't believe that they allowed the baseline drive for Dietrich Browning and is laying off glass for a 5-3 lead for the Patriots, and Ben Miller immediately calls a 30-second timeout. There's 17-13 left in this first half, and he lights into his guys, his starting five. He came right off that bench to get him and burn a little energy into those guys with that quick timeout. So Dietrich Browning on his baseline drive now 14 points shy of that Peach Belt Conference scoring record. Already holds a slew of records at Francis Marion, does Browning. He's led them in scoring in all but 2 games. He is 8th in all of college basketball. That's across all divisions, including NAIA, in efficiency, and that's 8th of any players who score 20 or more per game. A pretty tremendous number for Dietrich Browning, who's just a little bit shy on the free throw shooting clip from being in the 50-40-90 club, and that's 50 plus from the floor, 40% plus from 3, and 90% plus from the free throw line. As it comes towards the left wing with Brandon Watts, he's going to get a high screen from Nigel Grant, tries to roll off it to the right side towards the top of the key, bounces it to Tyrell Kirk on the right wing. He's going to spin towards the baseline and drive. He's double teamed along the baseline, splits it up high to Watts. Back to the left wing with Struther into the post where Grant's double teamed on the left block. He put the ball low on the deck. It's ripped out by Browning, takes it along the end line. He's going to move it left to right for the Patriots. Browning defended by Struther across the timeline towards the left wing, and a handoff over there with Parker. Comes back around to the near side with Specht off the right wing up high to Alexander, defended by Grant. The Braves in man-to-man early. 16:30 left first half, 5-3 Francis Marion leading. Browning directing traffic off the left wing extended, splits a double team, drives to the rack, tries to put it up off glass. The kiss a little too strong as it doesn't find the iron. Rolls back down in the hands of Tyrell Kirk. He pulls the board, and he'll go on to the offensive side of things for the Braves. Guard running it out, leaving it with Grant high, gets it back on the right wing now. Kirk goes into the right corner for Grant, down to the right block for Akia Pruitt. He's able to go up over the top of a new check-in Ryan Davis and lay it in for 2. Pruitt from close to the bucket to tie it at 5 here in these opening 4 minutes. We'll be waiting on immediate timeout. There's a drive by Browning towards the left elbow, kicks into the left side corner. Another 3-ball for the Patriots, a little too long for Parker. Hit side iron towards the near side, bounced off and carried him to Brandon Watts. He brings the crossover dribble across the floor right to left, angling to our near side. Goes up to the point with Pruitt, drives a fake to his right, now spins in the lane just inside the free throw line, tries to adjust for a lay-in, couldn't get it to go. Rolled off front iron, caught some glass as well. It's a quick turn the other direction with a shot blocked from Davis as he tried to drive with the left hand, and Brandon Watts said no and sent it away. Tyrell Kirk has it quickly into the front court, goes to the right wing when Nigel Grant steps into a 3, hits the back end of the iron. Warren Specht up strong with 2 hands to grab that high rebound. Arced off the back of that cast iron, goes into the near side corner on transition. Bucket the other way for Brandon Parker as he seals his second 3-pointer of the night. Parker out of this near side corner to give Francis Marion an 8-5 advantage with 15:05 left to go in the first half. Struther, hip high dribble across the timeline right to left. He's double teamed along the far sideline, weaves underneath it, getting underneath the arms of the defenders, goes to Tyrell Kirk along the near side of the lane, and Kirk able to adjust in air and lay it in off glass for 2. Kirk now has 5, and it's an 8-7 Francis Marion lead. 14:46 left in the first half. Braves have burned a 30-second timeout early after they didn't like the defensive energy. Specht from the right elbow, kicking to the near side corner with Ryan Davis. Pulls it back out around the ring. Braves able to switch Nigel Grant and David Struther as Davis puts it on the floor, tries to go into Nigel Grant. He puts his shoulder down, barrels right through him like a bowling ball for his first personal and the second team foul against the Patriots. That'll take us to a media timeout. 14:31 left in the first half. Francis Marion 8, number 24, UNCP 7 here on the UNCP Sports Network.
So where does the money go? Almost all NCAA revenue supports 90 championships and more than 1,100 member schools that award $2.9 billion in scholarships each year. The NCAA creates a pathway to opportunity for nearly 500,000 student athletes by prioritizing academics, well-being, and fairness. Bottom line, we put our money where our mission is.
I came to the University of North Carolina at Pembroke for big school opportunities at a place that feels like home.
I came to UNCP for championship athletics.
I love our rich diversity and strong traditions.
And because UNCP is an NC Promise school, I'll graduate with a world-class education with that amount of debt.
My professors know that I have big plans for my future, and they believe that I can get there from here.
Trevor Williams with you from the Athletics and Fitness Center on the campus of Clayton State University, where it's semifinal action between number 24 UNC Pembroke and Francis Marion in the Peach Belt Conference Tournament. Trying to punch a ticket for an opportunity to play Clayton State tomorrow at 2 o'clock here on the Lakers' home floor. These two sides playing for that here tonight. And Francis Marion holds the early advantage 8-7 through our first media timeout. Braves have the basketball. They've checked in James Murray Boyles and Micah Kinsey, who are their usual first two off the bench. This 7 or 8 starters that Ben Miller will call them for UNC Pembroke. Murray Boyles, the best scoring six-man off the bench in the PBC. He's on the left wing. David Struther has it, bounces it down low to JB along the baseline. Just below the block, he's weaving around Kingsley Waboso, the 7-footer. Couldn't get anything with the handles, and he threw it out to left wing and stripped away by Smith from Nigel Grant. Down to the baseline it goes for Dietrich Browning to kick it back out high with Davis. Around the perimeter it goes to the near side with the basketball. Parker goes back up high through Davis. Francis Marion going 4 low, 1 up high, and a handoff with Waboso around the left wing. He's able to drive down the lane. 7-footer tries to put up a right-handed lay-in. That scoop shot's no good. James Murray Boyles trying to get to a rebound, batted it to Brandon Watts along the near side instead. Watts on offense, curves over the top of the lane, gives it to the left elbow with Grant. A shot fake and drive, has it ripped out by the Patriots. Their Vine saying that it was off the leg of Nigel, but the officials are going to say it stays down here with UNC Pembroke. We're sitting just at the top of the Francis Marion bench, opposite of UNC Pembroke down to the right side. Braves have it along the near sideline to our left. The throw goes right into the lane to Micah Kinsey, gives it off to Nigel Grant just below the right block, and Grant fouled, trying to put the shot in off the glass, and Francis Marion looked a little caught off guard on the inbounds as the Braves went with a quick setup right to Kinsey in the lane, and Nigel Grant will have 2 shots. Brandon Parker picking up his first personal and the 3rd team foul against Francis Marion. So 2 shots for Nigel, a chance to get the Braves in front here in this first half, as he is second in the Peach Belt Conference in free throw attempts, 3rd in makes, but he misses the first. Hit the front iron on the soft shot. 16-point per game scorer, leads the Braves in his second free throw as good. First point for Nigel Grant. We're all tied at 8. First 6 minutes and 13 seconds gone. Dietrich Browning takes a 2-handed pass along the near side, stops to the right wing, defended by Brandon Watts. He curves it back a little bit, stepping into it, an illegal screen called against the 7-footer Waboso. The junior out of Greater Manchester, England, came rolling in behind the play on the right wing. He tried to get Nigel Grant out of the equation, but didn't stop the feet before setting that screen. So 8 all the score here in this first half with 13:27 to go in the half, and the Braves have the basketball right to left into the front court after that turnover on the illegal screen. A bounce pass by Micah Kinsey down the left side of the lane for James Murray Boyles. He's going to the basket and lays it in with a left hand for 2 for the Braves. Bucket there for UNC Pembroke in a 10-8 lead here in this first half of play. We go a little back and forth across the timeline. Davis able to angle it to the near side with Dietrich Browning. Defended by Brandon Watts. Back around Davis. It goes to the left wing side. Parker driving, bouncing it to Waboso, and the 7-footer lays it in off glass as he was towering above a couple Brave guards just below the left block. 10 all now the score, almost 8 minutes into action tonight here at Clayton State. Braves bouncing it down to their right block from Brandon Watts for James Murray Boyles. Comes back out high through Kinsey off the right wing to Watts for a straightaway 3, and he hits the back end of the stanchion. Too long on that 3-point shot. Browning has a chance to run it out for Francis Marion. Goes coast to coast right around Brandon Watts with a left-footed step and lays it in with the left hand for 2. Lightning pace up and down. Braves counter into the lane as they go to Nigel Grant. He's able to lay it in with a right hand for 2 for the Braves. That's now 3 points for Nigel Grant. 12-12 the score. Davis off the right wing with it, goes up high through Waboso to the left wing side. Warren Specht with a 3, and his first long ball of the night. 35th of the season for Specht, the spot-up 3-point shooter, and Francis Marion has a 15-12 advantage. Micah Kinsey pulls it along the front court, slows it down for the Braves, run the set offense. Those white jerseys with the black long stripe just below the waistband as they bounce it down to the right block with James Murray Boyles. He fades away and goes off glass for 2, and Gary Edwards not happy with his defense on that play. That's now 4 points for James Murray Boyles, and a timeout taken immediately by Francis Marion. It'll be a media timeout as well. 11:48 left to go in this first half. 15-14 is the Patriots' lead over your number 24 Braves here on the UNCP Sports Network.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Adidas is the official apparel sponsor for all 16 of UNC Pembroke varsity athletic teams. Adidas provides some of the most innovative products in the shoe and apparel industry and is one of the most recognizable brands worldwide. We thank Adidas for all its support in offering UNC Pembroke the best for its student athletes. Go Braves!
UNC Pembroke trailing 15-14 to Francis Marion here in semifinal action in the Peach Belt Conference Tournament. Trevor Williams with you from Morrow, Georgia, the campus of Clayton State. Early on, it's Brandon Parker leading the way for the Patriots with 6 points. Dietrich Browning close on his heels with 4. The Braves have 5 each from Nigel Grant and Tyrell Kirk in the early stages. Francis Marion basketball after last made bucket for the Braves down the block for James Murray Boyles. Davis carrying it with a left hand around the perimeter towards the left wing side, goes up high to Judah Alexander. Dropping it on the floor for a moment for a dribble, gives it to Dietrich Browning on the right wing, defended by Watts. Browning dribbling between the legs, pulls it back a step. Now he starts dribbling to his left towards top of circle. Davis has an NBA range 3 off the left wing, and it's canned by Ryan Davis. What a three-point shot. Francis Marion started 4 of 5 from 3 here tonight and a 4-point lead over the number 24 Braves. UNC Pembroke now with the basketball. Kinsey around a high screen from Akia Pruitt towards the free throw line. Stopped up, bumped by Alexander. Down to left block it goes for Murray Boyles, fading away over the top of the defender in the post, Kendall Wall, and it's good for 2 for James Murray Boyles. 4 points for JB and a 2-point lead for the Patriots, 18-16, and Francis Marion has it up high with Dietrich Browning. Able to sling it to the right elbow. A turnaround by Judah Alexander. Tries a long 2 from 18 feet out. That's not there. And Brandon Watts grabs it with a right hand, slapping it against his left side. And he carries it right to left into the front court. Leaves it up high with James Murray Boyles. Fakes a jab step. Takes the 3 from straight away. Comes up just short. Glancing iron. Back down to the hands of Brandon Parker. Leading scorer for Francis Marion so far fires it to the front court as the Patriots have a 2-point lead at 18-16 with 10:27 to go in this first half. Browning off the left wing slings it with a right arm over to the near side. It goes from Wall down to the post for Alexander. Spins around Pruitt, tries to lob it into the rim. That shot's not there. Off the corner of the rim, back down to the hands of Alexander. Watts swats away a shot right back into the face of Alexander. He'll eat leather on that play, and Watts takes the basketball into the front court for the Braves. Just inside the top of circle, tries an 18-footer. That's not there. Batted around by Murray Boyles, almost ends up in the basket. Micah Kinsey trying to strip it out from Kendall Wall under the hoop, but Francis Marion finally controls the rebound. Kinsey popped it hard with the right hand, the leader in steals per game in the Peach Belt Conference, almost notching his first tonight. 18-16, Francis Marion leads with the basketball, left to right into this front court. Davis along the left wing with it, had a long 3 a moment ago, leaves it with Browning, same side on that left wing, 4 to shoot. Jab steps, Watts drives to the left down towards the block, and Brandon Watts grabs a hold of the right wrist of Dietrich Browning with 2 seconds left on that shot clock. It'll be the first foul against the Braves of the night. 9:37 to go in the first half, 18-16 Francis Marion lead. Watts will take his seat, and the Braves bring in Jamal Bryant. So you now have James Murray Boyles, Jamal Bryant with Tyrell Kirk, Micah Kinsey, and Akia Pruitt as the 5 on the floor. We'll get the Francis Marion 5 in a moment as it goes in from Davis to Browning, around with Parker off the left wing, and he's joined by Wall and Alexander as those 5 on the floor for Francis Marion. To the right wing side, Davis able to hurl it up high towards Wall, 8 to shoot. He's surveying underneath, doesn't see a pass. Murray Boyles almost gets a hand on it. To the right elbow it goes for Browning, and a shot contested by Micah Kinsey. Lands a little too long off iron, and the Orange back down to the Braves. UNC Pembroke down 2 with the basketball. 9:10 to go in the first half. Bryant losing his footing on the right wing, trying to get to a bounce pass. He slid into the basketball, was able to fire it back free to Tyrell Kirk, and the Braves save possession. 13 to shoot on a high handoff for Kinsey. Dribbles back to his near side, angles into the corner to Tyrell Kirk for 3. That shot's not there, rims out. Pruitt able to grab an offensive board in the paint, tries to turn it back in with a right-handed hook shot from near. That's not there. Pulled down quickly by the Patriots. Browning up the floor to Parker, zips a pass over the back of his right ear for Davis, and able to lay it in with a left hand for 2. Ryan Davis now with 5, and Francis Marion by 4, 20-16. 8:36 left first half. Micah Kinsey double team towards the right wing. Goes to the right block to Akia Pruitt, and he scrapes the ceiling with a 2-handed slam. Pruitt has 4. The double team left him wide open on the right block, and the number 24 UNCP Braves down by just 2 with 8:20 to go in the first half. Really good rivalry matchup here in the Peach Belt Conference Tournament, the semifinal round. Browning has it up high. He pulls it back, drives down the left side of the lane, kicks it into the far side corner on a 3-ball for Kendall Wall. Another 3 for the Patriots, and they're 5 of 6, scorching the nets from beyond the arc at the start. It goes into the near side with Jamal Bryant. He goes up high to Tyrell Kirk around a high screen from Akia Pruitt, and Kirk stops at the free throw line and pops for 2, and Tyrell now has 7. Hasn't been in double figures in his last 4 games. He's already got those 7 first half points, and the Braves back by 3, 23-20, 7:43 left in the first half. Dietrich Browning on the dribble, takes a high screen from Judah Alexander, doesn't use it off the left wing, takes an overhand pass into the near side corner for Davis, tries to drive the lane, stripped out by Murray Boyles, picked away by Bryant along the end line. Now he'll race coast to coast towards the top of the free throw line, stops for Tyrell Kirk, a no-look pass down to the right block for Pruitt. He misses his first shot, a little bunny from below the block, but he's fouled on a second try by Kendall Wall. Quick follow to that play for Akia Pruitt as he picks up another rebound in this contest. That will take us to a timeout on the floor as well. 7:25 left in the first half. Number 24 UNCP trailing Francis Marion 23-20 in the semifinal round of this Peach Belt Conference Tournament on the UNCP Sports Network.
Have you rewarded yourself lately? Now's your chance. Download #BraveNation, the free student rewards app for UNC Pembroke. Receive notifications about exclusive information within Brave Nation. Earn points for attending select Brave events. More points equal more rewards. Reward yourself today with #BraveNation. That's #BRAVE Nation. Available for free in the Google Play and App Store. #BraveNation. Get rewarded.
Across divisions, sports, championships, and schools for nearly 500,000 student athletes. College sports create lifelong opportunity, and that starts with education. We've raised the academic bar, so more are earning degrees, creating healthier campuses by working with the nation's brightest minds, and making sure more have the chance to succeed and are supported on their journey. But beyond the numbers, it's about opportunity, and we're working to provide it for every student athlete.
Trevor Williams with you from Morrow, Georgia in the Peach Belt Conference Tournament, where we're in the semifinal round. 7:25 left in the first half, and number 24 UNCP trailing Francis Marion 23-20. Here on the UNCP Sports Network, a pair of teams who are in the top 8 of their Southeast region right now in those regional rankings, heading towards tournament time in the NCAA Division II level. Braves will have Akia Pruitt at the free throw line out of this timeout as he was fouled before the break by Jaquez Smith, his second personal. Actually, it's been moved to just his first personal, but a 5th team foul against the Patriots. So the free throws for Akia Pruitt, and the first is nothing but nylon for the Braves sophomore out of Winston-Salem. 5 points now for Pruitt. He's 56 of 92 from the free throw line this year, and he hits another. Make it 6 points for Akia Pruitt, the sophomore from Winston-Salem, making it a 1-point game at 23-22. 7:20 left in the first half. Along the far side with the basketball is Ryan Davis. Dietrich Browning also on the floor along with Jaquez Smith. Then it's Warren Specht off the right wing and Judah Alexander to complete the 5 for Francis Marion. A fake handoff on the right wing. Specht spins around, gives it to Alexander at the high point. He stops with 10 seconds left to shoot. Goes to his right wing side with Davis. Tries to blow his way around Nigel Grant. Ball tipped by Tyrell Kirk. Throws down far sideline with Micah Kinsey racing to the cup. And he lays it in off balance with a right hand as he goes crashing into that baseline. And then a backcourt foul called against the Braves as Kinsey tries to come in behind and pick Ryan Davis. Davis topples to the floor, and the Braves thought Davis just lost his footing. That lay-in for Kinsey gave UNCP a 24-23 lead. Micah picking up his first personal and the Braves' second team foul. So the officials will get some boos from a very good group of UNC Pembroke fans that's traveled down the 5.5-hour drive here to just outside of Atlanta. They're banned here as well for the Braves. Neither side with cheerleaders, though, tonight. We did see USC Aiken bring theirs for the semifinal matchup with Clayton State that they won 73-70, and a bounce pass intended for Alexander down in the right block from Specht at the point, bounces out the end line. The Braves will take it back. 6:39 left here in the first half, and we have a whistle along this near side as Micah Kinsey will head towards the bench for the Braves, and they will take a timeout in this spot. In fact, Ben Miller wanting a 30 with 6:38 left in this first half and a 24-23 lead. So we will keep it right here. We'll actually make sure, I think they're actually going to assess this timeout. Francis Marion asked for it as Gary Edwards to our left was able to get the 30-second timeout. So he will set his defense up. Brandon Watts going to check back in for the Braves, who now have that 1-point advantage. Trevor Williams with you here on the UNCP Sports Network, and glad all of you can be with us tonight for Braves basketball. We mentioned that these two teams, Francis Marion and UNC Pembroke, are playing for a chance to take on Clayton State in the championship game tomorrow, slated for a 2 o'clock tip. Clayton State winners just about an hour ago, 73-70 over USC Aiken, in what was a very hotly contested finish. In fact, Aiken had a shot under 30 seconds to try to tie the game, but they threw a pass out of bounds right into their bench down to what is now our left side here tonight at the lock. That's what they call the Athletics and Fitness Center here at Clayton State, as the Braves have the basketball in a 1-point lead, and UNC Pembroke a lob to the far side for Micah Kinsey. The sophomore guard brings it across the timeline. Curling a dribble right above his left pocket with the white shorts and the Bravehead logo just down to the left side of the basketball. Spins around to the point, gives it just inside the left wing to Nigel Grant. He's double teamed into the corner, throws it way back out high to Kinsey near the timeline along the far sideline. Comes to the near side for Tyrell Kirk for a 3-ball from the left wing right in front of the Francis Marion bench. And Kirk gets it. 10 points for Tyrell, and that is a total now of 47 3-pointers made this season for the true freshman. Specht with it on the left wing. The Braves have a 4-point lead. Their largest to this point. As Parker tries to throw it up high, Kirk bats the ball for a moment. It goes back over to the left wing for Smith. He misses a 3 off the front end of the iron, and Kia Pruitt a strong 2-handed rebound. Kinsey gets the outlet across the lane along the far side, throws it with 2 hands down to the left wing for Kirk, bounces it into the post for Grant along the left block, has his first shot stripped away, and then below the right block as he spins back around, lays it in with the right hand for 2. Nigel Grant has 7 now for the Braves, and they're up by 6, 29-23. That gets their crowd going. 5:27 left in the first half. A drive by Smith towards the right wing with Parker. Goes to Browning, who had great off-ball movement, but Micah Kinsey bats it out of play coming from behind on what Browning thought was going to be an easy lay-in. And Micah Kinsey with the block shot to keep the possession with Francis Marion, but save a bucket for the UNCP defense. 6-point lead at 29-23 with 5:21 left in the half, and Browning will now inbound from the baseline. Had some visible frustration as Francis Marion brings in Victor Hunt for Jaquez Smith. Hunt has not scored against the Braves this year, played in one of the 2 meetings. Browning pushing along the right elbow, trying to get some in-ground against Brandon Watts. Has to take it back out high. 4 to shoot, left of circle, still on the dribble, an off-ball whistle with 2 left on the shot clock, and it's whistled against the Braves. It's going to be a hold against Brandon Watts, his 2nd personal. 3rd team foul, but Watts might have to think about taking a seat here near the end of this first half of play. 5:07 left in this first half. David Struther with a Kia Pruitt, Tyrell Kirk, Brandon Watts, and Nigel Grant is the 5 on the floor for the Braves. Might be able to hear the call out in the background of this microphone, but it's a high-low call out from Francis Marion that has Parker running the point just right of circle. Goes to Davis on the right wing, defended by Struther. Struther tries to wrap up the basketball, but it goes to Specht on the left wing, bounces it towards the baseline for a little fadeaway jumper for Victor Hunt. Right on cue, his first points in the season meetings with UNC Pembroke, just a 2nd game play. Didn't play the first time around in Florence and didn't score in the 2nd meeting in Pembroke. 29-25 Braves with the basketball on the drive. Watts down the lane, gets the shot to go off the back end of the iron and drop in, and he pulls a blocking foul. Chance for a 3-point play. Watts lobbing it up on the run, his first points, and he's now 8 away from being 3rd in program scoring history at UNC Pembroke, and that would also move him into the top 10 in Peach Belt Conference history. Watts 76 of 111 at the line this year and has a chance to get the lead to 7 for the Braves as the free throw rims out, rolling right side around to left. Just 2 points there on the trip for Watts. Struther batting a ball near the timeline that was lobbed to Davis from Browning, and he taps it out of play right over the top of the scorer's table. Still going to be Francis Marion basketball. 4:33 left in the first half, 31-25, UNC Pembroke leads. Browning goes to the left wing, a chest pass over to Parker, back out high through Davis, sips it quickly to the right wing side, and it's a step in 2 for Victor Hunt that's a little too long off the back end of the iron. Almost missed the basket as he shot it way too strong. Struther into the near side corner, lobs it with 2 hands down to the post for Nigel Grant, tried to bounce it up high to Akia Pruitt, had it ripped away by Victor Hunt. Stepped into the passing lane in the middle of the key, goes down to the left wing side for Parker, tries a long 2, offensive rebound on a long board back out to Browning towards the left wing. He tries a long 3, and that's off the back end of the iron, but another long board out to Davis, and a third try here on this possession for Francis Marion. 3:52 left in the first half. Parker catches an off-ball cut down to Davis, who's driving towards the left block, and Nigel Grant collides with him in air for what will be Grant's first personal and free throws for the junior out of Cartersville, Georgia, Ryan Davis. Has 5 points already. It'll be a timeout before the free throws for Davis as UNC Pembroke, number 24 team in the country, leads Francis Marion 31-25 with 3:49 left in the first half. Peach Belt Conference Tournament semifinal action on the UNCP Sports Network.
Lumbee River Electric Membership Corporation belongs to the members it serves. That means their members have a say in how their co-op is run. And with members in charge, you can feel confident that the decisions made are in your best interest and the best interest of your community. Doesn't that sound good? Members know they can trust LREMC because it was created not to make profits, but to deliver on this promise, providing safe, reliable, and affordable electricity. 4 values are the foundation of LREMC's service to its members: innovation, commitment to community, accountability, and integrity. These values represent the cooperative difference and how their co-op earns the trust of members every day.
Attention Brave fans, alumni, and parents. Be sure to visit our official UNCP Braves Athletics online store at shopuncpbraves.com. The interactive website features more than 1,100 products, from exclusive sideline apparel to pet supplies and championship gear. Shop UNCPbraves.com today.
Number 24, UNC Pembroke with a 31-25 lead, 3:49 left in the first half of this Peach Belt Conference Tournament semifinal contest with the Francis Marion Patriots. There'll be 2 free throws for Ryan Davis. Trevor Williams with you here on the UNCP Sports Network. Glad to have you along with us here in Morrow, Georgia, where the hosts, the Clayton State Lakers, are already into the championship game tomorrow afternoon. They'll meet the winner of this one, and Ryan Davis for the first of the 2 shots after Nigel Grant's first foul. And Davis with the free throw is good. It's now 6 points for Davis, the junior. He's scored in double figures 6 of his last 8 games. He's also good at dishing the basketball out. 6 in assist to turnover ratio in the Peach Belt Conference at 1.8. And Davis's second also good, 7 points for him. 31-27, 4-point lead for the Braves. It's been as large as 6 in this first half of play. Struther with the right hand across the timeline, right to left. Feet on the logo as he stops at the top of the key. Goes back off his right side to Tyrell Kirk. 30 feet extended, drives towards the wing. Doesn't have anything, goes back to the near side with Struther. Double team, bounces it up high to Kirk. Drives the lane, a runner from 10 feet. And Tyrell Kirk gets it to float right into the nylon. 12 points for Tyrell, the freshman out of Whiteville. And it's a 33-27 Brave lead. They set the defense man-to-man. James Murray Boyles on the far side, left wing with Wall as Kendall Wall throws it past his 7-footer, Kingsley Waboso, who was at the top of the lane, and it's into the scorer's table along the near side. A turnover by the Patriots and right back to the Braves. 7th turnover for Francis Marion. Braves will take the basketball, and Dietrich Browning checks back in quickly along with Victor Hunt. Kingsley Waboso will take a seat along with Kendall Wall. The 2 try to complete that last pass. It's Jaquez Smith with Ryan Davis, as well as Brandon Parker, the other 3 to complete that 5 for Francis Marion. David Struther with Tyrell Kirk, Akia Pruitt, Brandon Watts, James Murray Boyles for the Braves. Watts has it high point, stops right elbow, fades away for 2, and Brandon Watts, the shot true, rolling front end of the iron and finding its way down the rabbit hole. 35-27 Braves, an 8-point lead with 2:51 left in this first half of play. Browning dribbling between the legs at the top of the key, goes into his right corner with Parker. It comes right back out, zing back to Browning, out to the left wing for Hunt for a moment. Goes back to Browning, right of circle. He tries a 3 that comes up short. Hunt snares an offensive rebound, pulling it away from Brandon Watts, throwing it back out to the left wing with Ryan Davis. Around the perimeter, Davis faking a handoff, drives down the right side of the lane, takes body contact from Murray Boyles, can't complete the lay-in on the drive. He'll have 2 shots coming, and JB picking up his first personal. Be team foul number 5 against the Braves, and the 2 shots now after the drive for Ryan Davis. Judah Alexander will wait to check in along with Kendall Wall. Davis getting a high 5 before the shot from Brandon Parker. Takes a spot in the lane on the left side. Davis's first of the 2 shots, hits front iron, then rolls home true. 8 points now for Ryan Davis and a perfect 3 of 3 at the line. Came in 64 of 97 on the season for this Francis Marion team that's won 10 of their last 12 after beating the Braves in Florence back on January 24th. One of their 2 losses down the stretch was to the Braves in Pembroke, though. This is the first 20-plus win season in 14 years and has a chance to be just the school's second trip to an NCAA tournament. As the free throw a little too long from Davis. Braves trying to wrestle to a rebound in the lane. Brandon Watts had it tied up with Judah Alexander, but that arrow favors Francis Marion. So they'll take it under the basket after that jump ball. Ben Miller could see the frustration from Brandon Watts. He wanted the rebound, but Miller applauding the effort of Watts just to get the tie-up. As Wall will be replaced by Specht along the far side. Inbounds from underneath from Davis. Goes straight in to Brandon Parker, and he's fouled trying to go up. This could be against James Murray Boyles. If it is, it's his second, and it is. As he slashed across the left arm underneath the bucket of Brandon Parker. And that was a quick set for Francis Marion as they went right into him. They saw it right away on the inbounds. Parker flashed below the left block and all of a sudden was wide open. He makes the first of his 2 free throws. 7 points now for Parker. Both teams with 6 team fouls in this first half. Murray Boyles will take a seat with 2, and Nigel Grant replaces him. Grant on the Brave side with 1. Brandon Watts also has 2 fouls, and Parker's second free throw is good. 8 points for Brandon Parker. 35-30. The Braves lead with 2:26 left in the first half. UNC Pembroke has that basketball as well to go alongside the lead. Strother throws it to the far side with Kirk, who's just across the timeline. Stops with his eyes up on a slow dribble, spins around Browning, into the lane, leaves it underhand for Akia Pruitt, tries to lay it in first, missed it, kind of bobbled the basketball, got it back below the left block and lays it in with a little scoop shot in the left hand. 8 points for Akia Pruitt, 37-30 Braves. 2:06 left in the half. A drive down the right side for Davis, stripped out by Strother. He tries to get out of the way of the basketball, but he was the last to bat it anyways as he went matrix along the far end line down to our right. Still Francis Marion basketball, 2:04 left in the half, 23 to shoot. Davis from the baseline along the near side of the key goes to the right wing with Dietrich Browning. Slows his dribble, looking towards the top of the lane, doesn't go there, comes back to his right wing with Davis instead. Up high with Specht, defended by the 6'7 Pruitt, tries to drive left side towards the elbow, bounces it down to Alexander on the left block, spins around on Nigel Grant. The hook shot from 6 feet out is good for the lefty Judah Alexander. His first points of the night. 37-32 Braves lead with 1:39 left in the half. 7 points has been their largest lead of the half, with Watt stepping inside the left wing. Zips it out to the right wing side with Tyrell Kirk down to the baseline for Strother. Tries to drive against maybe Judah Alexander down there. Hard to see with everybody standing up, but an offensive foul as he actually went barreling into Kendall Wall. Strother's first and the Braves' 7th team foul. The player control will just turn it over to Francis Marion. A 5-point Brave lead and 90 seconds left in the first half. It goes in quick to Parker and the quick touch right back to Ryan Davis, who now get to run the point across the timeline for the Patriots. Their coaching staff calling out the plays. They cross the logo, go to the far sideline with Warren Specht. He's left wing extended, defended by Akia Pruitt. Braves have been man all this first half. Drive to the right side of the circle for Parker, kicks it to the near side corner with Browning. Shot fakes a 3, 10 to shoot, tries to drive around Watts into the lane, sees nothing there. Kicks to the left wing to Warren Specht for 3, overshoots everything, only catches glass. Nigel Grant grabs the carom with just a right arm, shoves the defender off, and then gives the outlet to David Strother across the lane. Brings it over the timeline, down the far side to the right wing, tries to bounce it into Pruitt, bounces it back outside, almost ripped away from Strother. Watts has it along the near side now to the baseline, bounces it back to Strother, right wing, double teamed up high to Watts. One more pass left wing for Tyrell Kirk, who's wide open, just misses the 3, rattles front iron off the back of the cylinder, and back out to Warren Specht. Outlet across the key to the near side for Brandon Parker. 35 ticks left in the half, and a pass comes towards the Braves bench off the hands of Davis. Tyrell Kirk in the area trying to deflect it, and the Braves will take it back. It zoomed over the top of their bench into the crowd back behind UNCP's bench, and a 5-point Brave lead with 35 ticks left in the half at 37-32. Fresh shot clock as well as David Strother will bring it over the timeline for the Braves. Tyrell Kirk waits near the timeline on the far sideline for Strother in case he's pressured high. Francis Marion, a lot of traps up high on the Braves as they brought it across the timeline. Strother looking to his near side. Brandon Watts calling out the play. 15 left to shoot, 17 left on this game clock. It continues to tick as Grant sets the screen on the left wing. Watts bounces it to Kirk on the right wing. Down to the far side block with Akia Pruitt, and Pruitt's called for sealing off the defender down to the post as he wrapped an arm around Judah Alexander, and he's called for the offensive. Pruitt's first, another player control against the Braves just for a turnover back to the Patriots. It should be a Brave lead at the half, barring a phenomenal turn of events here at the end of the first half. 10 and 7/10 left, 37-32 UNCP with the lead. With the basketball, Jaquez Smith across the timeline, dribbles to his left side, doubled up high by Nigel Grant and David Strother, kicks to the left wing. Parker trying to drive under the left block, loses a look at the clock, and he throws it to the right corner with no time left, as that is the end of the first half of play. Warren Speck kind of lost his spacing down towards the end line, had nowhere to go, and the Braves will take a 37-32 lead to the locker room here at the Athletics and Fitness Center in Morrow, Georgia. Hotly contested first half, but the Braves got the upper hand late in the period. They end up shooting 55% while holding Francis Marion 11 of 28. By the way, Dietrich Browning only 4 points in that first half. That is well below his season average of 25 points per game. That Brave defense working, and right now, so far, so good for the Braves. They like to cut down a few more threes for the Patriots. It'll leave them in a better spot, but for now, a 5-point lead into the locker room. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back with the halftime report right after this. Number 24, UNCP up on Francis Marion, 37-32 in the semifinal of this Peach Belt Conference tournament on the UNCP Sports Network.
Ever wondered why our sponsor, Lumberton Chevrolet Buick Cadillac GMC, has such a long name? One reason is the tremendous variety of cars and trucks they offer to meet every need. Great-looking Chevrolets, Buicks, Cadillacs, and even GMC SUVs and trucks. They have everything from budget vehicles to the top-of-the-line Cadillacs. So why would you shop anywhere else? Try their quick lube, and while your vehicle is being serviced, you can see for yourself. They are located next to Lumberton High School.
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor.
It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
When UNC Pembroke athletes train and compete, Scotland Healthcare System will be a part of the team as the official healthcare provider for UNCP athletics. Led by Ortho Carolina Scotland orthopedic physician Dr. Richard Alexander, their specialist will cover every football and men's basketball game. From practice drills to kickoff and tip-off, Scotland's medical experts will oversee training staff operations. It's one more way Scotland Healthcare is keeping its commitment to be there for the region, delivering closer care that's better by far.
The PBC is commitment.
The PBC is community.
The PBC is competition.
The PBC is character. We are the PBC.
So where does the money go? Almost all NCAA revenue supports 90 championships and more than 1,100 member schools that award $2.9 billion in scholarships each year. The NCAA creates a pathway to opportunity for nearly 500,000 student athletes by prioritizing academics, well-being, and fairness. Bottom line, we put our money where our mission is.
I came to the University of North Carolina at Pembroke for big school opportunities at a place that feels like home.
I came to UNCP for championship athletics.
I love our rich diversity and strong traditions.
And because UNCP is an NC Promise school, I'll graduate with a world-class education without a mountain of debt.
My professors know that I have big plans for my future, and they believe that I can get there from here.
Trevor Williams with you at the half from Morrow, Georgia, where it's a 37-32 lead for the number 24 UNC Pembroke Braves over the Francis Marion Patriots semifinal action of the Peach Belt Conference Tournament. These two sides playing for a chance into that championship game to face one seed Clayton State. The Braves, they have obvious reasons to want to be in that championship game, let alone to win the hardware, but to try to settle what was a co-championship in the regular season with Clayton State, as both teams finished 19-3 in the PBC. Francis Marion went 14-8 in the regular season. They're currently 6th in the Southeast Regional polls, this NCAA Division II level, and the Braves currently 4th in that region poll, behind Carson Newman, Queens, and the nation's top team, Lincoln Memorial. That's where the Braves sit right now in those region standings. In this game, it was hot three-point shooting at the start for Francis Marion, as they were able to scorch the nets with 5 early three-pointers, but they went cold late in that first half, missing their last 4 to go 5 of 10 from three-point range in the opening half. 11 of 28 shooting, with only 6 other makes from the floor that weren't threes, and that was a 39% mark for the Patriots in that first half of play. 32 points for Francis Marion, the 5 fewer than UNC Pembroke, but they did out-rebound the Braves at 18-14, including a 6-2 advantage on the offensive glass. 8-7, their lead in assists for the Patriots. Steals 3-2, blocks the Braves with 3, and Francis Marion with 1. Francis Marion turned the basketball over 8 times in the first half, while the Braves only coughed it up 5 times. Patriots usually don't turn the basketball over much, only averaging 13 per contest this year. Braves shooting percentage from the 3, cooler, 2 of 10, 20%, but 16 of 29 from the floor, that's 55%, and that would do for this offense, as Francis Marion this year has allowed their opposition to shoot about 46% from the floor. Not good defensively, but they've made up for that with the strong scoring led by guard Dietrich Browning throughout the season at 25 points per game. The problem for Francis Marion is that Browning was very cold in that first half of play. Only 4 points in the opening stanza. He now stands 12 points shy of the Peach Belt Conference career scoring record. He's at 2,322 career points. The leading scorers for the Patriots in the first half, Ryan Davis had 8 points, as did Brandon Parker. Then it was another 4 for Browning, as we mentioned. Then 3 for Speck, 3 for Wall, 2 for Waboso, 2 for Hunt, and 2 for Alexander in that opening half of play. That was a 32 for Francis Marion. For the Braves, they were paced by Tyrell Kirk. The true freshman snaps a skid of 4 consecutive non-double-figure scoring games, as he comes in with 12 in that first half of play for the Braves. Then it was 8 for Akia Pruitt, 7 for Nigel Grant, along with 4 each for James Murray Boyles and Brandon Watts, and 2 points for Micah Kinsey in that first half of play. Looking at the foul situation, Francis Marion, nobody in foul trouble. The Braves have a pair with 2 in James Murray Boyles and Brandon Watts through that opening half of play. 37-32 lead for the number 24 team in the country, trying to make it into the championship game of this Peach Belt Conference tournament, and they lead 37-32 at the half. We'll take another timeout. We'll come back with more of the halftime report. We're just under 8 minutes away from our second half of action here on the UNCP Sports Network.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Adidas is the official apparel sponsor for all 16 of UNC Pembroke varsity athletic teams. Adidas provides some of the most innovative products in the shoe and apparel industry and is one of the most recognizable brands worldwide. We thank Adidas for all its support in offering UNC Pembroke the best for its student athletes. Go Braves!
Have you rewarded yourself lately? Now's your chance. Download #BraveNation, the free student rewards app for UNC Pembroke. Receive notifications about exclusive information within Brave Nation. Earn points for attending select Brave events. More points equal more rewards. Reward yourself today with #BraveNation. That's #BRAVE Nation. Available for free in the Google Play and App Store. #BraveNation. Get rewarded.
Across divisions, sports, championships, and schools, for nearly 500,000 student athletes, college sports create lifelong opportunity, and that starts with education. We've raised the academic bar, so more are earning degrees, creating healthier campuses by working with the nation's brightest minds. and making sure more have the chance to succeed and are supported on their journey. But beyond the numbers, it's about opportunity, and we're working to provide it for every student athlete.
Trevor Williams with you at the half at the Athletics and Fitness Center in Morrow, Georgia, where it's a 37-32 lead for number 24 UNC Pembroke over the Francis Marion Patriots. Glad to have you with us here at the half. A couple other specialty stats from that opening half of play where the Braves really excelled. A 20-10 advantage on points in the paint. They were also up 11-2 in points off of turnovers. That was a really good first half for the Braves in those couple of categories. Also the 55% shooting help for the Braves. Francis Marion 39% through that first half of play, as we said, a 5-point Brave lead. Looking at the game earlier today between Clayton State and University of South Carolina Aiken, a 73-70 win for the Lakers, who are the number 25 team in the country. We mentioned they shared the regular season championship with the Braves, and they were led in their contest by Dantes Beneman, 19 points to pace 5 scorers in double figures, as Beneman was joined by Kyle Kinsley with 15, then 12 for Nathan Powell, and 10 each for Justin Tuxson and Jacarl Owens in that victory for the Lakers. Marcus Terry had 18 points and 6 rebounds for USC Aiken. They also got 15 from Henry Bolton III, who also canned a pair of 3-pointers, including some big ones late, but Aiken fell 1 3-pointer shy in the contest as they threw away an offensive possession with under 30 seconds to play, which put it on ice for the Lakers. Clayton State, by the way, had to erase a 9-point deficit at the half to pick up that 3-point win, outscoring USC Aiken by 12 in that second half of play, 47-35. A rousing performance behind the Peach Belt Conference Coach of the Year, Jimmy Link. So they are in that championship game tomorrow as the hosts at 2 o'clock. Both the Braves and the Patriots hoping to be there with them, but number 24 UNCP, a 37-32 lead at the half. We'll take one more timeout. We'll come back, get you set for the second half of action. That's right after this here on the UNCP Sports Network.
Lumbee River Electric Membership Corporation belongs to the members it serves. That means their members have a say in how their co-op is run. And with members in charge, you can feel confident that the decisions made are in your best interest and the best interest of your community. Doesn't that sound good? Members know they can trust LREMC because it was created not to make profits, but to deliver on this promise, providing safe, reliable, and affordable electricity. 4 values are the foundation of LREMC's service to its members: innovation, commitment to community, accountability, and integrity. These values represent the cooperative difference and how their co-op earns the trust of members every day.
Attention Brave fans, alumni, and parents. Be sure to visit our official UNCP Braves Athletics online store at shopuncpbraves.com. The interactive website features more than 1,100 products, from exclusive sideline apparel to pet supplies and championship gear. Shop UNCPbraves.com today.
Ever wondered why our sponsor, Lumberton Chevrolet Buick Cadillac GMC, has such a long name? One reason is the tremendous variety of cars and trucks they offer to meet every need. Great-looking Chevrolets, Buicks, Cadillacs, and even GMC SUVs and trucks. They have everything from budget vehicles to the top-of-the-line Cadillacs. So why would you shop anywhere else? Try their quick lube, and while your vehicle is being serviced, you can see for yourself. They are located next to Lumberton High School.
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor.
It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
When UNC Pembroke athletes train and compete, Scotland Healthcare System will be a part of the team as the official healthcare provider for UNCP athletics. Led by Ortho Carolina Scotland orthopedic physician Dr. Richard Alexander, their specialist will cover every football and men's basketball game. From practice drills to kickoff and tip-off, Scotland's medical experts will oversee training staff operations. It's one more way Scotland Healthcare is keeping its commitment to be there for the region, delivering closer care that's better by far.
The The PBC is commitment.
The PBC is community.
The PBC is competition.
The PBC is character. We are the PBC.
Back inside the Athletics and Fitness Center on the campus of Clayton State University in Moro, Georgia. Trevor Williams with you as we get ready to exit the half. Number 24, UNCP leading Francis Marion 37-32. The I-95 rivalry, these two schools split by just about a 45-minute drive. Directly south on I-95 for UNCP has been moved down here towards Atlanta, and the Braves had the upper hand in that first half of play. But when we talked to both these coaches in the pregame, there was one thing that was for certain between the two sides. That was that they thought this was going to be a slugfest tonight, and probably a good one down to the wire, as these two teams have impressed this year. The first meeting within 7, a 90-83 loss for the Braves, and then a two-possession game. The second meeting, a 66-60 win for the Braves. This second one teetering more on the range of that 66-60 contest. Not exactly the two teams shooting lights out completely in this contest. Again, Francis Marion really good from three. The Braves really good from the floor, and that's been the big separator after that first half of play. We'll see as the second half gets underway with Tyrell Kirk, Brandon Watts, David Struther, Akia Pruitt, Nigel Grant for the Braves. And the ball was inbounded from the far side. And the shot clock somehow started up before the game clock. So it was 2 ticks ahead. They put 26 on the shot clock, 19:56 on that game clock. And the Braves are now inbound from the near sideline. So they kind of lose about 4 seconds there, and Watts goes into Grant. It's Dietrich Browning along with Jaquez Smith, and then Brandon Parker, Judah Alexander, and Warren Specht is the 5 for Francis Marion on the defensive side. They start in a man-to-man look. Grant has it at the free throw line. Triple threat, drives down the right side lane, goes against Alexander. Hard take, misses the lay-in. Pruitt trying to follow for an offensive rebound and put back, and he's fouled in the motion. The foul against Dietrich Browning, his first team foul of the half for Francis Marion. Again, nobody out of that first half in real foul trouble for the Patriots as they split 6 single fouls amongst a bunch of different bodies in that first half of play. Akia Pruitt was fouled on his putback, so it is 2 shots for the Braves sophomore, and he misses the first of the 2. It was a perfect 2-2 earlier in this game at the line. 37-32, the UNC Pembroke lead, 19:40 left to go, and Pruitt's second free throw is good. 9 points now for Akia. Braves got their lead as big as 7 in the first half. Back up to 6 now, and Jaquez Smith with the first offensive possession for Francis Marion across the timeline, angling near side, goes back to the far side of the floor with Dietrich Browning. Crossing over at the top of the key, only 4 first half points for the 25-point-per-game scorer, and Browning tries to split a pair down on the right block, and he gets between Brandon Watts and Nigel Grant, somehow sandwiches his way in there and lays it in off glass for 2. 6 points for Browning, 38-34, UNCP with the lead and the basketball. Almost 60 seconds gone in the second half. Watts off the right wing, dribbling high. Takes it with a high 2 hands back over to the right wing with Struther. Goes inside out through Pruitt. Back up high to Watts. Reverses it to the far side with Kirk. 11 left to shoot. That full minute gone now in the second half. Kirk bounces down to the right block with Pruitt. Double teamed, and Browning pokes the left wrist of Akia Pruitt right away. Dietrich Browning picking up 2 fouls out of the locker room here in the second half. The PBC leader in 3-pointers made, Dietrich Browning, with 52 on the year. Didn't have one in the first half, still doesn't have one a minute and 3 into the second half. 38-34 Braves as Watts inbounds from the baseline. 2-handed inbounds pass lobbed to the right wing to Pruitt. It reverses around the perimeter to Kirk on the far side. Watts has it back near side wing, drives against Browning, spinning towards the lane, kicks it near side corner with Nigel Grant. Looking out of the triple threat, wants to drive around Specht into the lane. There's a foul off the ball on the drive for Grant towards the center of the lane, and this will go against Warren Specht, his first personal, and the 3rd team foul quick of the second half for Francis Marion. Keeps it on the floor under the basket, 20 to shoot, 18:43 left to go. Braves still a 4-point lead. Struther with the inbound out to the right wing with Brandon Watts. It was too bad for Nigel Grant, too, because he had the little bunny hook in the center of the lane for the Braves, but the official said the foul was first. Struther off a right wing screen from Akia Pruitt, able to get it back over the right shoulder of Alexander. Pruitt lays it in, and he's fouled as well. A chance for a 3-point play. The foul against Judah Alexander, his first, making actually his second. He had one of the 6 in the first half, and Akia Pruitt makes it a 40-34 lead for the Braves. Just split a trip at the line to open this half, has a chance to cap the three-point play, and he does with a perfect free throw. 12 points for Pruitt. The defensive player of the year in the PBC, cashing in on the offensive end that time for the Braves. First defensive player of the year in program history for UNCP. 41-34 Brave lead, 18-22 left in this contest. Specht has it left wing, goes up high through Alexander. Survey doesn't have anything there, goes with a high handoff for Specht. Grant cuts it off, Specht goes back up high with Smith, pulling it back near the timeline, 10 to shoot. Drives towards the right elbow, nothing there still, kicks it back out high once again to Parker. He tries to get it into the lane, funneled it for Alexander, losing his footing in the painted area, kicks it out to the right wing to Smith for 3. Missed that shot, and Pruitt able to get the rebound off the far side of the key. Goes outside with David Struther on the outlet. Struther kicks it back up high to Pruitt. The trailer goes to the right wing to Kirk for 3, and Tyrell Kirk his 3rd triple of the night as the freshman from Whiteville's up to 15 points. 44-34 Braves, their first double-digit lead of the contest. 17:39 left to play. Smith lobs it down towards the end line for Specht, a little bit off his fingertips. Pruitt able to bat it towards Watts along the near side. Watts picks it up. He'll dribble left-right to the front court. Crosses over towards the elbow. The Braves get a whistle down in the paint, and off-ball foul. This is going to go against UNCP. Nigel Grant called for a hold down in the paint. It's going to be his 2nd personal. And for a moment, the bench erupted for the Braves, thinking that they were the benefactors of the call. And Ben Miller is hot at the top of that bench right now, letting the officials know what he thought about it, as Grant got tied up down in the paint with Judah Alexander. The Braves thought they were going to pick up a 5th foul against Francis Marion here in the half, but instead they're first and Nigel Grant 2nd. So Watts, Grant, James Murray Boyles all have 2 fouls each now. 17:15 left to play, a 10-point Brave lead at 44-34. Francis Marion bouncing it towards the right elbow. Alexander rises up for 2. The shot too long, and Pruitt able to grab a rebound off the fingertips. Pruitt with his 5th board on that nice carom. David Struther off the logo to the left side. High screen around Pruitt, and a whistle around that screen as Smith trying to get free, and he hand-checked David Struther. Jaquez Smith his 2nd. 5 fouls now against Francis Marion, and before you know it, the UNC Pembroke Braves could be in the bonus, and now a technical foul has been assessed to the Braves as the officials are in a conversation at the top of the lane, and they turn right towards the bench and assess a technical foul to UNC Pembroke. Nigel Grant was talking with the officials, and meanwhile, Gary Edwards trying to get his side together over near the scores table as he wants to calm him down in this spot and get the free throw shots for Dietrich Browning. We'll see who the technical went against. Nigel Grant and Ben Miller talking near the top of the bench. I think they've given it to Nigel Grant as Browning makes the first of the technical foul shots. Now 7 points for Dietrich Browning. Browning trying to get to 8 with the 2nd free throw, and that's good. Easy points there for Dietrich Browning at the line, the leader in the Peach Belt in free throws attempted and made. And the technical foul went against Brandon Watts. So his 3rd. Nigel Grant was pleading his case with Ben Miller, I think, saying that he didn't think that Brandon deserved the technical foul. Watts shaking his head as he walks back towards the top of the Braves bench to inbound for UNCP. 8-point Brave lead. They keep the basketball on that dead ball technical. Goes to left wing with David Struther. 16:55 left in the contest. Struther bouncing it to the baseline for Grant, trying to work against Alexander. Backing down, fading away. It rolls around both sides of the iron, almost went home, but 2 shots coming for Nigel Grant. As he spun around Judah Alexander, he took the contact and the push. Alexander's 3rd. 6 team fouls against the Patriots. Next foul will put the Braves into the single bonus, as the first free throw for Grant is no good. Rolls front end of the iron and off the left side. 7 first-half points for the all-PBC first-teamer. Back-to-back all-conference selections. A transfer from Polk State College. The 2nd free throw for Grant is good. Now give him 8. The 5th-year senior out of the Bronx has the Braves in front by 9. Their largest lead, 10. 16:44 left to go, and a bounce to the feet of Warren Specht here right in front of us on the left wing. He's working towards the top of the Francis Marion bench, gives it to Browning on a curl at the top of the circle, and Dietrich Browning seals a 3 from straight away. 11 points for the senior out of Columbia, South Carolina. Just like that, two-possession game at 45-39. Arcing pass down to the end line for Grant. Tries to fire it back out high. Had it stripped away by Parker. He wanted a foul. Speck goes the other direction. Throws it back towards the lane, intending to get it back to Parker. Grant able to pick it off and lob it over his right shoulder to Tyrell Kirk. Throws it to the right wing for Brandon Watts on a crossover dribble against Speck down to the end line. Goes under the basket, curls back around below the left block, trying to go up against Alexander, and has a shot swatted towards the left corner. Saved by Dietrich Browning back to Watts. He lobs it underhand to Akia Pruitt. He's able to slam it home with two hands just below the right block. 14 points for Akia and a 47-39 Brave lead by 8. Messy possession down there for the Braves, but ended in a slam with numbers. Goes back to Parker along the near side in front of his bench. Tries to fire a three. High rebound, tipped by Grant. Falls back to Davis. He tries to put it back into the cup, and Watts able to come away with it. Just overshot to the near side of the basket. Watts pulls it out, runs the floor, gives it to Grant up high. A trailer three for Nigel Grant, and splash for the Braves' fifth-year senior, and that'll be a timeout called by Gary Edwards. Nigel Grant give him 11 on the three ball, and the Braves their largest lead of the night at 50-39. 15:29 left to go. We'll be back right after this here on the UNCP Sports Network.
Lumbee River Electric Membership Corporation belongs to the members it serves. That means their members have a say in how their co-op is run. And with members in charge, you can feel confident that the decisions made are in your best interest and the best interest of your community. Doesn't that sound good? Members know they can trust LREMC because it was created not to make profits, but to deliver on this promise, providing safe, reliable, and affordable electricity. 4 values are the foundation of LREMC's service to its members: innovation, commitment to community, accountability, and integrity. These values represent the cooperative difference and how their co-op earns the trust of members every day.
Attention Brave fans, alumni, and parents. Be sure to visit our official UNCP Braves Athletics online store at shopuncpbraves.com. The interactive website features more than 1,100 products, from exclusive sideline apparel to pet supplies and championship gear. Shop UNCPbraves.com today.
Trevor Williams back with you from Mora, Georgia, where it's UNC Pembroke, number 24 team in the country, with a 50-39 lead over Francis Marion in the semifinals of the Peach Belt Conference Tournament. An update in the SAC semifinal, Lincoln Memorial with a 76-46 win over Wingate in that conference semifinal matchup. We were talking about them earlier as the top seed out of the Southeast region, and they rolled with that 30-point advantage. They're going to be a tough team to face come tournament time, and both the Braves and the Patriots could be in a spot to play them in the postseason this year. Francis Marion, you would think, even if they lost here tonight, would still be a tournament selection. It'd be their second selection in school history. Braves trying to get to their 5th under Ben Miller. They'll definitely be there despite what could happen tonight, although right now it's looking positive for the Braves. Brandon Watts on the far side trying to get to Dietrich Browning on a handoff, and he crashes right into the right arm of Browning, picking up his 4th foul. And Ben Miller wants to get a sub really quick off the bench. He's asking for Jamal Bryant, as Bryant will relieve Brandon Watts. And I think the officials will take a media timeout here as well, as the last media timeout was off our first called timeout of the half. So we'll break once again. Jamal Bryant will come in for Brandon Watts. He'll have to take his seat for a while with 4 fouls. 15-19 left to go. UNCP 50, Francis Marion 39 here on the UNCP Sports Network.
Ever wondered why our sponsor, Lumberton Chevrolet Buick Cadillac GMC, has such a long name? One reason is the tremendous variety of cars and trucks they offer to meet every need. Great-looking Chevrolets, Buicks, Cadillacs, and even GMC SUVs and trucks. They have everything from budget vehicles to the top-of-the-line Cadillacs. So why would you shop anywhere else? Try their quick lube, and while your vehicle is being serviced, you can see for yourself. They are located next to Lumberton High School.
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor.
It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
50-39 is the UNC Pembroke lead. Trevor Williams with you on the UNCP Sports Network as the Braves take on the Francis Marion Patriots. 15-19 to go in the semifinal game. And Dietrich Browning tries to lob a pass down to the right block for Jude Alexander. It's picked out of the sky by Akia Pruitt. Out to Micah Kinsey on outlet, back up high to James Murray Boyles, a trailer. He zings it into the far side corner for Jamal Bryant, and Bryant his first make of the night on a 3-ball out of that corner pocket. 53-39 Braves, as they're starting to put the foot on the accelerator here in the second half. Largest lead of the night by far at 14. Davis with it into the front court along the left wing, pulls it back out high, tries to dribble around a high screen down the right side of the lane. Pruitt swats a shot away as he drives the right side of the key. It bounces out high to Speck just inside the right wing. Goes to the far side corner with Davis back up high to Parker. A reset for Francis Marion. 53-39 Braves, 14:36 to go in the game. Alexander up high with it, drops on the floor, goes to the left wing towards Browning, tries to drive on Micah Kinsey with hands up, but Kinsey's called for a blocking foul. Kinsey's second, and the Braves again not happy with the officiating here in this spot. During the last media timeout, they were asking for a clarification on why Brandon Watts picked up a technical a few moments ago. That was his third of the 4 fouls, as Watts now is taking a seat for the Braves. Speck gets the lob, just left a circle beyond the 3-point line. Toes almost pressed on that blue as he pulls it back with just the right hand, throws it up high to Parker, bounces it back to the baseline, a backdoor cut for Dietrich Browning, and they call a foul against Micah Kinsey. They said he tripped Browning, and the Braves can't believe it. They thought Browning just lost his footing. I did too, as Kinsey now picks up his third. 5th team foul against the Braves, 14:21 to go. Davis will inbound from the baseline along the near side of the key. Davis hurling it up high to Judah Alexander, around through Speck. Braves think they got the bad end of the last 2 foul calls against Micah Kinsey. Browning tossing it back up high to Davis, defended by Bryant. Davis a left-handed dribble. To carry it to his left side, looking around, Bryant comes up, closes up high with the hands, tips it free as he tries to pass it across the Speck. Bryant has on the left wing side, sees numbers out right to David Struther, wide open, feet on the line for 2, the shot not there, and Alexander pulls the board, throws it out high to Parker. Along the far side, Parker races against Kinsey to the basket, takes a little contact, and finishes off the back end of the iron for 2. 10 points now for Brandon Parker, 53-41 Braves. David Struther with the basketball and a hip-high dribble, holds up a left hand with a fist to call out the offense as he goes to Micah Kinsey over the PBC logo, 30 feet extended. He gets ahead of steam, down towards the bucket, lays it in with the left hand and takes a push out the end line. There's a chance for a 3-point play for Micah Kinsey. Count the bucket, and Dietrich Browning called for his third personal, as it's a 55-41 Brave lead, and Kinsey, not the best of free throw shooters at 43 of 76, will get a chance to cap that 3-point play. Francis Marion bringing Jaquez Smith to the table as the free throw for Kinsey is good. Micah now has 5 points. The sophomore out of Atlanta has a good group of fans here to watch him play tonight. 15 points, the lead for the Braves at 56-41. Francis Marion has the basketball. UNCP's been in a man-to-man defense most of this contest. And now they're showing a little bit of zone here on this defensive possession in the second half. 13:25 to go, a 2-3 zone look. Goes around the perimeter with Victor Hunt stepping in at the top of the circle. Tries to come back to the near side towards Smith. Kinsey picks it away. He's all alone to the bucket, trying to lay it in with a right hand, reverses under the cup, and a scoop shot lay-in for 2 for Micah Kinsey. The steal and score for Micah. He's got 7, and his cheering section leaps to its feet here in Morrow. Off to the right wing, Parker with a 3 to answer for Francis Marion, and 13 points for the All-PBC third-teamer. 58-44 Braves with 12:51 left to go. Micah Kinsey has the dribble up high, crosses to his left side, wanted to drive the lane, had it poked by Smith. Down to the post it goes to Pruitt. Back down 2, goes back out high to Kinsey. Fires left corner with Jamal Bryant. Hit a 3 there a few possessions ago. Spins out of it, defended by Parker. Sends it high to Struther off the right wing. 6 to shoot, drives down the lane against the right block. Through the contact of Ryan Davis and lays it in for 2. David Struther, his first points. 60-44 Braves. They're starting to have a stranglehold here on this contest in the second half as a bounce pass comes to the near side to Parker for 3. Just hit one a possession ago. That's not good off the back end of the iron. Hit that cast iron down to Jamal Bryant. He hands it off to David Struther, who will slow it on a walk across the logo left to right into the front court. Tapping his chest as they run the offensive set. Bryant has on the left wing, flashing out for the pass. Braves looking for Pruitt down the left block, and he's held on to it, looks like by Victor Hunt. It'll be Hunt's first personal, and the Braves will be into the bonus now with Pruitt headed to the free throw line. So Akia Pruitt will have the 1-on-1 opportunity on the 8th team foul against Francis Marion. Dietrich Browning to check back in for Jaquez Smith. Braves frustrating the Patriots, who have shot 39.5%. Meanwhile, UNCP shooting it at 60%. And they're back in front in the rebounding battle now at 21-20. 12:03 left to go in the first of the 1-and-1. Good for Akia Pruitt. You can now give him 15 points. MVP of the Peach Belt Conference tournament last season and a double-figure score now in 38 of 51 career games. Made the second team in the conference this year, and he hits both at the line on that trip. 16 now for Akia Pruitt. And the Braves with an 18-point lead at 62-44. 11:57 left to go. Remember, in the first half of the opening meeting, or the last meeting, we should say, the home meeting for the Braves, they led by 17 at one point as Parker gets it back on the right wing and again fires a three and connects. That is three-pointer number 4 for Brandon Parker. 62-47, the UNCP lead. Tyro Kirk nearly heels press to the timeline, goes to the far side with Struther. We'll have immediate timeout at our next whistle. Murray Boyle splitting a double team on the left wing, passes to the right wing side with Kirk, goes to the end line with Jamal Bryant, able to lay it in off glass for 2, and Bryant now has 5 second-half points. 64-47 Braves. They're still waiting for a breather on a whistle. There's a dribble by Davis, left to circle, again Struther. Struther tries to body him into the lane. Davis darts around him down towards the end line below the right block and lays it in with the right hand for 2. 10 points for Ryan Davis. 64-49, Braves by 15. Specht hits the deck on the offensive end. Murray Boyles gets a quick pass, tries to run the end line and throw to Bryant, but it's a blocking foul along that end line against Francis Marion. And we got free throws coming for James Murray Boyles when we come back. Looks like Warren Specht picked it up. It's his second personal. We'll have those free throws for JB right after this. UNCP 64, Francis Marion 49 with 11:01 to play in semifinal action of the Peach Belt Conference Tournament on the UNCP Sports Network.
When UNC Pembroke athletes train and compete, Scotland Healthcare System will be a part of the team as the official healthcare provider for UNCP athletics. Led by Ortho Carolina Scotland orthopedic physician Dr. Richard Alexander, their specialist will cover every football and men's basketball game. From practice drills to kickoff and tip-off, Scotland's medical experts will oversee training staff operations. It's one more way Scotland Healthcare is keeping its commitment to be there for the region, delivering closer care that's better by far.
The PBC is commitment.
The PBC is community.
The PBC is competition.
The PBC is character. We are the PBC.
(64-49), the UNC Pembroke lead with 11:01 left to play. Trevor Williams with you here on the UNCP Sports Network, and free throws for James Murray Boyles, a 1-and-1 opportunity after Warren Specht just picked up his 3rd personal foul. So JB for the 1-and-1. Murray Boyles for the Braves, 12.4 points per game, mostly off the bench this season. And the front end of the 1-and-1 rolls the iron and settles home. 5 points now for JB. He's been in double figures in 11 straight games as a 6-man off the bench. Trying to get his scoring going here in the second half. The second of the 2 free throws follows suit. It's good. 6 points for James Murray Boyles. 66-49 Braves by 17. Their largest lead has been 18. Francis Marion trying to counter with a 3 on this possession. Brandon Parker's had 5 of them in this game for the Patriots. Davis has it up high, bounces it to the near side with Dietrich Browning, who's sitting on 11 points, well below his 25-point-per-game average. That was the key for the Braves, was shut him down. Struther almost takes away a pass up at the head of the key. It's over to Warren Specht on the right wing on a loose ball. Trying to tie it up is Jamal Bryant, and he does, but the possession arrow going to Francis Marion. They show 6 on the shot clock. 10:38 left. Braves trying to stop it on this possession as be inbounded far sideline by Ryan Davis. Dietrich Browning in the front court up near the top of the key as it bounces far side corner with Victor Hunt. Dribbling against Grant, tries to throw up a 3, hoists it out of the corner, and Victor Hunt connects. 5 points for the junior out of Atlanta. And right here, near his hometown, 66-52 now that Brave lead. They go inside to Grant, down below the right block, under the basket, tries to turn around on Hunt, shot blocked, back into the hands of Grant. He's out of control, spinning in the lane, and he picks up a blocking foul against Hunt. As Hunt leans back, hits the deck, and Nigel Grant will be going to the line for 2 shots on the 10th team foul for Francis Marion. make that 2 fouls against Victor Hunt, and a lot of fouls in the second half for the Patriots. They picked up 5 early on in the second half of play, and that put them kind of behind the 8 ball in terms of sending the Braves towards the bonus. So 2 shots for Nigel Grant, who's 3rd in the conference in free throw makes coming in, and he makes the first of the 2. 12 points now for Nigel. He came in 69 points away from 1,000 in his shorter UNCP career after being a transfer from Polk State College. Makes both in the line for 13, and you can now mark him as 56 points away from that 1,000-point scoring mark. 68-52 Braves, 10-11 to go in the contest. Far side, Parker with it, goes back up high through Davis. Two-hand pass back to Parker, into the baseline to Hunt. Just inside that far side corner, he's looking for somewhere to go. Francis Marion has it left side of the floor as they go back into the corner for Specht, all alone for 3, shot a little too long. It's poke free in the lane. Strother almost grabbed a rebound, but Browning got it right on back. Has a pass on the left wings and went high to Davis for a moment, tried a 3, that's not there. Braves trying to get to a rebound. They'll be called for a push under the basket. They'll go against Micah Kinsey, and that becomes Kinsey's 4th personal foul. Now trouble for the Braves with Brandon Watts and Micah Kinsey each with 4, and Brandon Watts will get the okay from Ben Miller to check back in. He'll take the spot of Kinsey. Ben Miller hands on hips, a stern look back towards the officials down to our left side. 9:51 to play, and he's trying to get those pair of guards through this contest as Parker slips open underneath the Braves defense in the center of the key, and an easy lay-in for Brandon Parker. Uncontested, he has a game-high 18 points. And a pass on the far side, tipped by Parker along the far sideline, out of bounds, intended for Tyrell Kirk, and Parker couldn't believe it. He thought it was back off of Tyrell. Braves, the officials say, are going to hold the possession along the far side. Brandon Watts will inbound it there for UNCP. 3 ticks came off that clock, 9:41 to go, and the Braves by 14. Watts trying to lob the inbound to JB. Right past his left ear, but luckily Nigel Grant to the top of the three-point line on the Braves backcourt, and he's able to pick up the basketball. Throws it back to the far side with Watts on the dribble against Dietrich Browning. Crosses over, fades away, free throw line high. Shot a little too short, and it's pulled in by Hunt. Throws it out to his far side with Specht, racing the floor along the near side. Stops on a crossover in between the legs and gives it to Parker just left a circle. Parker looking for somewhere to go. Hands high, lobs it to Specht, defended by JB. Braves in a man-to-man. They switch it up high with Nigel Grant. Grant now defending Specht. 10 to shoot. It's bounced up high with Davis. Trying to drive from the top of the key down to the center of the lane. Gets a runner. There's a foul. Count the bucket. Chance for a three-point play as David Strother got a swipe on Ryan Davis. 12 points for Ryan Davis. All of a sudden, Francis Marion making a run here at the Braves. 68-56 now the score, and if Davis can convert this three-point play, it's 68-57. Strother picked up his 2nd on that foul. So Davis set up to try to cap this three-point play, and the free throw is true. 13 now for Ryan Davis, the junior out of Cartersville, Georgia. Brandon Watts looking to inbound, full court pressure from Francis Marion along the near sideline. Akia Pruitt comes racing to it, bats it once with 2 hands, and then gets a firm grasp on it. So he throws it back to Brandon Watts in his own lane, tries to lob it down the floor, bounce it off the foot. It looked like a Francis Marion defender. Davis racing to it, and he pokes it out of bounds into the Patriot bench. 20 left on the shot clock now, and 8:54 to play here in the contest. Hard to believe there was no kick ball call against the Patriots on that offensive possession, as Watts looked like he dribbled it right into the foot of Davis. They're now mopping up some sweat right off the edge of the Francis Marion bench, where Brandon Watts waits to inbound to our left. 68-57 Braves. 23-22 their advantage on the glass, and they've forced 13 Francis Marion turnovers while only turning it over 8 times of their own. Strother has it in the backcourt. 17 seconds to shoot for the Braves. They didn't get a shot clock reset there. Strother racing around the far side past 2 defenders. Goes to the right wing to Watts. All alone for the Braves, and Brandon Watts with a 3 for UNCP. 3 points away from 3rd in the program's history books for all-time scoring. 71-57, though more importantly, the Braves lead. 8:31 left to play. Davis has it up high, bounces it to the right wing with Parker, into the far side corner with Browning, lobs it down to the baseline with Hunt, trying to spin around on Grant, fadeaway jumper from 15, overshoots everything, and Watts is on the back end for a rebound. Lobs it up on a high arc to the far side with Strother, who now carried across the timeline. A little slower dribble, methodically handing off to the right wing with Watts. Double high handoffs as Kirk now has it up over the top of center. Crosses over, Browning steps it back right towards the right elbow, and Tyrell Kirk rises up for 2. 17 points for the true freshman. What a play. Almost bats the ball along the near side as the pass comes up along the scorer's table and bats it out of bounds to the top of the Francis Marion bench. It was intended for Dietrich Browning towards the left wing. Francis Marion will keep it. 73-57 UNCP with 8 minutes even now left to go on the inbound. It was 8:01 when it was batted out of play. Next whistle will be immediate timeout. It's bounced to the right elbow. Speck spinning along the side of the lane. Kicks it to the corner with Hunt for a moment. Back up high to Browning. Now it's back over to the near side with Davis. Up high with Speck. He tries to drive the lane. Somehow splits Grant and Pruitt lays it in with the right hand for 2. Warren Speck with 5 points now, and the Braves will slow it into the front court. 73-59, the UNCP lead over Francis Marion, the number 24 team in the country, trying to get a chance to settle its score with Clayton State in the championship game tomorrow as they shared the regular season crown here in the PBC. Tyrell Kirk, left wing, stops, thinks about a 3, fires it, missed, and Pruitt, a putback one-handed slam. Skied up and wasn't boxed out, and he popped it right back into the cylinder. 18 points with Pruitt throwing down the hammer, and a 75-59 Brave lead. What an athletic play by the sophomore out of Winston-Salem. Got on his pogo stick. His Speck goes down towards the end line. He's pushed by the Braves, and that will take us to immediate timeout, and it was against Nigel Grant, his 3rd personal. It'll be a baseline, actually make it free throws now for Francis Marion on the Braves' 8th, and the one-on-one opportunity will come to you right after this timeout. 7:03 left to go. Number 24 UNCP 75, Francis Marion 59 here on the UNCP Sports Network.
So where does the money go? Almost all NCAA revenue supports 90 championships and more than 1,100 member schools that award $2.9 billion in scholarships each year. The NCAA creates a pathway to opportunity for nearly 500,000 student athletes by prioritizing academics, well-being, and fairness. Bottom line, we put our money where our mission is.
I came to the University of North Carolina at Pembroke for big school opportunities at a place that feels like home.
I came to UNCP for championship athletics.
I love our rich diversity and strong traditions.
And because UNCP is an NC Promise school, I'll graduate with a world-class education without a mountain of debt.
My professors know that I have big plans for my future, and they believe that I can get there from here.
Trevor Williams with you from Morrow, Georgia, where number 24 UNCP has a 75-59 lead over Francis Marion with 7:03 to go in the semifinal game of the Peach Belt Conference Tournament. A chance to play Clayton State on the line for these two sides. Warren Speck at the free throw line for the Patriots. Speck was fouled on the dribble right before the media timeout by Nigel Grant. Grant's 3rd personal, 18 fouls against the Braves, who are already in the double bonus on their offensive side, and Speck nails home the front end of the 1-and-1. At 14 and 15 points respectively in each of his last 2 games, 6 points now tonight for Speck, and his 2nd free throw also good, so make it 7 for the senior from Shawnee, Kansas. And we'll see Kendall Wall check in for Warren Speck now. So it's Kendall Wall along with Brian Davis, Brandon Parker, Kingsley Waboso, and Jaquez Smith for Francis Marion. Their leading scorer on the season, Dietrich Browning, the PBC Player of the Year, is sitting on the bench right now. Micah Kinsey has it in the backcourt. He edges it across the timeline with a couple seconds to spare, joined by Akia Pruitt, David Struther, James Murray Boyles, and Tyrell Kirk. Kinsey takes it down the right side of the lane, crosses over the 7-footer, Kingsley Waboso. 11 to shoot, goes back out high, 30 feet extended left wing side with Kirk. Goes top of the key to Struther. Right back to Kirk on the left wing. His 3-pointer a little too long. Kinsey, the small guard, getting up for an offensive rebound out of the right side of the lane. Hands off with Kirk down the left side of the lane. Tries to throw up a lob shot. Fadeaway 2 along the left side of the key and could not get it. James Murray Boyles trying to run to the near side of Jaquez Smith and could not catch him in time. He'll run it forward into the front court. Goes to the far side with Davis driving against Kinsey towards the basket. Missed the runner, did Davis, and Murray Boyles taps it free. David Struther will collect it for the Braves. 75-61 lead for UNCP, 6:11 left to play. Struther throwing it back out to the left wing for Tyrell Kirk. Shot fake, steps inside, left elbow, pops it 2, and Tyrell Kirk has 19. His career high is 25 back at Flagler earlier this year, and Kirk rolling in this contest, 77-61 Braves. All 5s on that game clock left now at 5:55 for Francis Marion. They got to get it turned on quick. Murray Boyles reads a pass up high, intended for Wall, takes it away, goes the other direction, and throws down a thunderous tomahawk slam. James Murray Boyles with 8. had the steal and the breakaway dunk for the Braves. It'll come back to the near side. A timeout called by Francis Marion. Braves on the accelerator in this second half, 79-61 their lead. And we will see a full timeout taken here with 5:35 left to go. Braves by 18. We'll be back right after this on the UNCP Sports Network.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Adidas is the official apparel sponsor for all 16 of UNC Pembroke varsity athletic teams. Adidas provides some of the most innovative products in the shoe and apparel industry and is one of the most recognizable brands worldwide. We thank Adidas for all its support in offering UNC Pembroke the best for its student athletes. Go Braves!
Well, the rather large UNC Pembroke conglomerate that traveled down here to Morrow, Georgia, enjoying what they're seeing with 5:35 left to go. 79-61. Number 24 UNCP leading Francis Marion. Dietrich Browning will inbound from the far sideline for the Patriots after they use the full timeout. Trevor Williams with you on the UNCP Sports Network, and the Braves looking like they're inching closer and closer to a date with the championship game against Clayton State. Browning stepping it back up high, just left a circle with it now. Smith, quick dribble, tosses across the lane, back over to Parker. Right wing, it zips around the perimeter, back to the near side. Browning open on the left wing for three, and he couldn't seal that. Tough shooting night for Dietrich Browning as he's 4 for 11. His total points still just sitting at 11. That's 5 shy of the PBC all-time scoring record. Tyrell Kirk out of the left corner, back to the right wing side towards Struther. Kirk goes barreling into the lane, and he crashes in to Judah Alexander. An offensive foul against Tyrell Kirk. Kirk's first personal, 9th against the Braves. Player control foul, so Francis Marion will just take it under the basket, and they'll walk it into the front court. Jaquez Smith with the basketball. He's out of Beach Island, South Carolina. 18-point Brave lead. Francis Marion needing to cut in quick. Davis drives right side of the lane against Pruitt, tries to alter the shot. Pruitt out of hand nearly on Davis. He's able to lay it in over the top of Akia Pruitt for 2. Give Ryan Davis now 15, and we see a timeout from the near side once again, as this is a 30-second timeout taken by Francis Marion. The Patriots just about running out of timeouts here in this contest now, as they have not used a ton up into this point in the second half. They will have 1 remaining with 4:50 left to play in a 79-63 UNCP lead. Both teams in the double bonus at this point. Braves ready to break their huddle with their 5 on the floor, and they're playing with a couple with 4 fouls. Brandon Watts has picked up 4 in this game, as has Micah Kinsey. Micah Kinsey is on the floor right now, joined by Akia Pruitt, James Murray Boyles, David Struther, and Tyrell Kirk. Judah Alexander with Dietrich Browning, Ryan Davis, Jaquez Smith, and the 5th of those 5 on the floor is Brandon Parker. Micah Kinsey to inbound from the baseline for the Braves. Wanted to throw a baseball pass, the length of the floor goes to the far side with Struther instead. Full court press set up by Francis Marion. They double team Kinsey in his own lane. He goes back to the far side with Struther into the left corner with Murray Boyles. Tries to rise up over the top of Dietrich Browning, and he's fouled on his way to the 10. As Browning now picks up his 4th personal. 2 shots coming for James Murray Boyles, who's at 8 points and trying to make it 12 straight double-figure scoring games for the Braves junior forward. Came in 48-62 at the line this year, now 50-64 after an earlier 2-for-2 trip. And he makes the first of the 2 shots. 9 points for JB. Warren Speck back in for Judah Alexander. Braves have scorched those nets tonight, 58% shooting. Almost 59% shooting, 58.8. Francis Marion up to 44 after shooting 38% in the first half. And Murray Boyles able to hit his second. So there is his double-figure scoring game. 12 straight now for JB, 16 of his last 19. 81-63 Braves, again by 18. Trying to get to that 20-point plateau. Speck has it up high straight away, comes to the left wing with Davis, drives baseline with Murray Boyles, stops at 10 feet, turns it back around, up around the left elbow, drives across the key, down the right side of the lane, and he's fouled by JB as he goes up for 2. So Ryan Davis will have free throws coming, and Murray Boyles picks up his 3rd personal. Brandon Watts will be waiting to check in for the Braves. Davis in this game at the free throw line for Francis Marion is totaled at 4 of 5. It's 13 points. The first of these two shots is good. Kendall Wall come back in. Dietrich Browning takes a seat along with Warren Specht. Kendall Wall in, as well as Judah Alexander with Brandon Parker. And you have Kendall Wall and Jaquez Smith. Davis for the second of these two shots. 81-64, the UNCP lead, now make it 81-65 as Davis gets the pair at the line. Watts out of his own end line, going to the far side with Pruitt on the inbounds. Now lobs it to the near side with Strother. Takes the rainbow, able to bring it across the timeline with behind the back dribble. Doubled up far side just inside the timeline. Looking for somewhere to go, jumps up, gets it between two to Watts. A pass bounced to Kia Pruitt down the right side of the lane, in between his legs over to James Murray Boyles. And Murray Boyles tripped up along the right wing. As diving out trying to get to the basketball was Brandon Parker, but he picked up the foul. His second personal, and free throws coming for James Murray Boyles. We could be shooting a lot of free throws here down the stretch. 16-point Brave lead, 4:09 to play, and both teams in the double bonus. Both teams, again, in the top 8 in their region rankings as well. The first free throw for JB, no good. He still stands at 10 points and is now 4 of 5 at the line today. Specht, along with Browning, back in for Wall and Alexander. They bring in those players that are playing with some foul trouble. Browning with 4, Specht with 3. A little offense for defense, and Murray Boyles makes a second of his free throws, making 11 points for JB. Up the floor with the basketball will be Smith, defended by Strother. Lowest scoring game for Browning this year has been 15. He's at 11. Into the near side corner, a missed 3 by Specht. He comes up short on that 3-ball attempt. 9 for 21, Francis Marion from three-point range. 82-65, UNCP with the basketball and the lead. Watts on the right wing drives the lane just inside the free throw line. That poked out by Specht, takes it back up high. 3:44 left to play. Strother has it with his feet over the Laker logo at center court. Brings it back to the right wing for Kirk. An overhead pass over to the left wing for Watts. Steps inside for a 16-footer. The shot not there, a little too long. Comes out long on the rebound to Jaquez Smith. The guard runs the floor, pulls the trigger straight away from 18 feet on his own side, and Smith his first bucket of the game. 82-67, Braves by 15. Strother with the basketball in the backcourt, facing a 1-3-1 look in defensive zone for Francis Marion. They throw it length of floor down to the end line for Murray Boyles, almost taken away by Parker. Murray Boyles taking it to the rack, and he's fouled by Smith as the ball bounces on the back of the cast iron but won't find a home, and that will take us to a timeout. Third foul against Smith. Braves will have free throws, 2 of them for James Murray Boyles when we come back. 82-67, UNCP with the lead over Francis Marion, and the Braves can smell the championship game just 3 minutes and 12 seconds away here on the UNCP Sports Network.
Have you rewarded yourself lately? Now's your chance. Download #BraveNation, the free student rewards app for UNC Pembroke. Receive notifications about exclusive information within Brave Nation. Earn points for attending select Brave events. More points equal more rewards. Reward yourself today with #BraveNation. That's #BRAVE Nation. Available for free in the Google Play and App Store. #BraveNation. Get rewarded.
Across divisions, sports, championships, and schools for nearly 500,000 student athletes. College sports create lifelong opportunity, and that starts with education. We've raised the academic bar, so more are earning degrees, creating healthier campuses by working with the nation's brightest minds, and making sure more have the chance to succeed and are supported on their journey. But beyond the numbers, it's about opportunity, and we're working to provide it for every student athlete.
82-67, the UNC Pembroke lead, and free throws for James Murray Boyles out of this under 4 timeout. 3:12 left to play. Trevor Williams with you from the Athletics and Fitness Center on the campus of Clayton State. Clayton State Lakers already into the championship game as the 1 seed in the PBC. The Braves, the 2 seed, trying to join them, and they have the 15-point lead, a chance to add to it here at the line for JB, and he hits the first of the 2 shots. Now 12 points for Murray Boyles. 6 in the PBC in field goal percentage coming in, averaging just over 18 per game in his last 3. as the second free throw hits right iron, bounces up high and off. So just 12 for JB. 83-67 though, that Brave lead with just over 3 minutes to play. Smith trying to drive left side of the lane, pushed into Tyrell Kirk with an off right hand, and an offensive foul called against Jaquez Smith. His fourth personal, Judah Alexander will jump up along with Kendall Wall, and they check in for Victor Hunt and Dietrich Browning on the defensive end of the floor. Browning playing with 4 fouls as well, remember. Sitting at 11 points, he is 5 shy of the PBC scoring record at 2,334. That will be his record when he gets his next 5. He's 4 points shy of his season low in scoring. The Braves already came in one of 6 teams on the season to hold Browning to under 20. Browning's been a force this year. Strother driving, kicking to the right wing with Watts, steps inside, bounces it back out. 2:52 left to play. Bounce pass back to Strother, top of the lane. In the far corner, open is Nigel Grant for a 3. As the pass gets there from Strother, it's airballed. Kirk almost has a chance under the bucket to collect it and lay it back in over his right shoulder, but that lane comes up short as well. Nearly the air ball turning into a pass for Nigel Grant. Smith pulls it the other direction, stops at the top of the lane from 18 and pops it for 2. 4 points for Jaquez Smith. 83-69, the Braves by 14, 2.5 left to go. Strother out of the backcourt, defended by Davis, trying to bring it across the timeline. Weaves through 3, loses control of the ball at the right wing, able to gain it back. Shot fakes at the right wing, goes up high through Tyrell Kirk. Braves swinging around to the far side with Brandon Watts. Over the PBC logo, he lobs it back up high to Tyrell Kirk. 9 left to shoot, 2:11 to play. Watts has it back just outside that PBC logo left wing. Tries to split 2, kicks to the left corner. Pruitt for 3, 6-7 forward. Tries to put up with 1 left on the shot clock. Jude Alexander trying to get to it, and he's pushed by Nigel Grant on the rebound off the high carom on the miss for Pruitt. That'll be a 4th foul against Nigel Grant. Free throws coming for Judah Alexander the other way. 2:01 left. And Grant trying to walk down towards the lane, as he will now. For a second, nobody heading towards that lane and worried that Grant had picked up a technical himself and was done. Brandon Watts had a technical earlier, but no such problem here in this situation. Grant was just frustrated picking up his 4th. So now Alexander walks towards the line. We'll see the officials come towards the table here just to make sure that foul's reported correctly. And it is, so it's now Micah Kinsey, Brandon Watts, and Nigel Grant all playing with 4 fouls for the Braves. Alexander making the first of the 2 shots. Give him now 3 points on the night, 83-70 the Brave lead. Akia Pruitt comes off the floor for UNCP. They now have Nigel Grant with James Murray Boyles, Brandon Watts, Tyrell Kirk, and David Struthers. The second free throw also good for Alexander. Alexander come off the floor. Parker and Woboso back in. Dietrich Browning also on the defensive side of things, even with the 4 fouls. We'll see if the Braves go right at him, trying to foul him out here on this possession. 12-point lead under 2 to play. Should be the Braves' game to control here down the stretch. Strother out of the backcourt, throwing it down to the left corner with Grant. Fakes the pass, takes it baseline, rises up, slams it home with 2 hands, and Nigel Grant with 15. 85-71 Braves, and they can feel it now into the far side corner with Wall coming up short on 3. Davis following in underneath under the right block with an offensive rebound and putback for a 19-point night for Ryan Davis. Braves throw it into Grant along the far side. He's wrapped up by Woboso as he's about to blow past him towards the basket. And it'll be 2 free throws coming for Nigel Grant now on Kingsley Woboso's second foul. 85-73, number 24 UNCP leading with 1:30 left. The most points they've now scored in the season series against Francis Marion after the slam for Nigel Grant. Previously 83 on the road in the 90-83 loss in Florence. And Grant missing the first free throw on the left side of the rim. Grant in this game split his first 2 trips to the line, then made 2. Was at 4 of 6, now 4 of 7. He'll have his second. Kingsley Woboso taking a seat along with Kendall Wall. So Grant will have the second free throw with his Braves up by 12, and that's good for UNCP. Now 16 points for Nigel. 86-73. Brandon Parker will be inbounding for Francis Marion, and Nigel Grant takes a seat. As Micah Kinsey comes back in, a loud ovation from the Brave faithful behind that UNCP bench down to our right. 86-73, 90 ticks left. Across the timeline, Smith with the basketball behind the back dribble, goes to the right elbow, launches a shot over Micah Kinsey, comes up way short. Pruitt trying to get to the loose ball in the lane. It bounces back out to the right wing towards Smith. Kinsey nearly taking away a pass on this near side as Browning slips underneath the hip of James Murray Boyles, and that foul against Dietrich Browning will mark the end of his night. All 5 fouls for Browning in the second half. He fouls out with 11 points and $1:18 left to play. This will be his lowest scoring game of the season. The Braves become the first team to hold him under 15. He's 5 points shy of the Peach Belt Conference scoring record, and you hope for his sake that Francis Marion will have an NCAA tournament game ahead of them so he can try to get that mark as Murray Boyles hits the first of his 2 shots. 13 points for JB, and the Braves, their game plan worked out. Take Dietrich Browning out of the game, make someone else beat you, and they did just that as Murray Boyles hits them both. 14 for JB, 44% shooting for Francis Marion, but for Dietrich Browning on the night, the shooting was just a total of 4 for 11. A little tip in on a miss down the floor by Parker. Tried to tap it back in was Victor Hunt. He couldn't get it to go on the right side of the bucket. Braves sold out to the far side with Struther across the timeline. 65 ticks left. Struther weaves 2, goes under the bucket, leaves to Pruitt, and an exclamation point dunk right down the center of the lane for Akia Pruitt. 20 points now for Akia. The officials here along the near side stop it with a whistle right at the table. 90-73, the Braves lead now. They have a chance to have the highest scoring game in the season series this year. Francis Marion scored 90 in Florence earlier this season when they beat the Braves. Smith across the timeline, weaving around 2. Speck under the basket, tries to turn around Pruitt, keeps a hand high, but Speck able to get a right-handed hook shot for 2. 9 points for Warren Speck, but the Braves are about to put this one on ice. As Struther along the near side in the backcourt, double team goes to Kinsey across the timeline. Sees Watts on the far side, zings it with the right hand. Brandon Watts, his turn for a 2-handed slam, and the Braves have 92. 9 points for Watts. He's 1 away from third in the Braves record books in the all-time leading scoring charts. 6 seconds separate game and shot clock. Kinsey reads a pass on the far side. He takes it left to right and slams it home with a left hand. 3 straight dunks for the Braves on the steal and slam for Micah Kinsey. 94-75 and 22 ticks left. Parker has it left wing, comes up with an air ball on the 3. Watts under the basket, picks it out for the Braves. He'll look for the far side with David Struther now taking himself across the timeline. Jump stop there, hand it to Micah Kinsey, and the Braves will watch the seconds tick away tonight in Morrow. 94-75 in a convincing semifinal round victory over the Francis Marion Patriots as UNC Pembroke will get its chance to settle the score with Clayton State. They shared the regular season championship in the PBC. Tomorrow we will crown an undisputed champion in the Peach Belt Conference. UNCP a 94-75 win over Francis Marion, and this Peach Belt Conference tournament continues for the number 24 Braves. What a finish in this contest tonight. 4 straight dunks down the stretch for the Braves, and they get it done to pick up the victory over the Patriots. We'll have Ben Miller with us on the post-game show. We'll also try to grab a Brave in this one. Take your pick. Akia Pruitt with 20, Nigel Grant with 16, Tyrell Kirk 19, James Murray Boyles 14, and 9 each for Brandon Watts and Micah Kinsey in this big team victory for the Braves. Again, that final 94-75 postgame coming to you next here on the UNCP Sports Network.
Lumbee River Electric Membership Corporation belongs to the members it serves. That means their members have a say in how their co-op is run. And with members in charge, you can feel confident that the decisions made are in your best interest and the best interest of your community. Doesn't that sound good? Members know they can trust LREMC because it was created not to make profits, but to deliver on this promise, providing safe, reliable, and affordable electricity. 4 values are the foundation of LREMC's service to its members: innovation, commitment to community, accountability, and integrity. These values represent the cooperative difference and how their co-op earns the trust of members every day.
Attention Brave fans, alumni, and parents. Be sure to visit our official UNCP Braves Athletics online store at shopuncpbraves.com. The interactive website features more than 1,100 products, from exclusive sideline apparel to pet supplies and championship gear. Shop UNCPbraves.com today.
Ever wondered why our sponsor, Lumberton Chevrolet Buick Cadillac GMC, has such a long name? One reason is the tremendous variety of cars and trucks they offer to meet every need. Great-looking Chevrolets, Buicks, Cadillacs, and even GMC SUVs and trucks. They have everything from budget vehicles to the top-of-the-line Cadillacs. So why would you shop anywhere else? Try their quick lube, and while your vehicle is being serviced, you can see for yourself. They are located next to Lumberton High School.
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor.
It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
94-75, the final for UNC Pembroke tonight, the number 24 team in the country over Francis Marion, and they will get a chance at Clayton State in the championship game now. And I don't know if you'd have it any other way in the Peach Belt. The two teams that shared the regular season championship will get a chance to settle the score on Clayton State's floor here in Morrow, Georgia. That'll be a 2 o'clock tip tomorrow in the championship game here from the Lock, which is the Athletics and Fitness Center at Clayton State. Welcome into the postgame show where the Braves put a cap on a 19-point win with 4 dunks down the stretch. And they took care of Francis Marion in this one, and they also held Dietrich Browning to his lowest scoring game of the season. That's easier said than done. Browning fouling out with 1:18 left in the game, ended up scoring 11 for the Patriots, averaged 25 per game this year for Francis Marion. The Peach Belt Conference Player of the Year, though, was silenced here in this semifinal by the Braves. They did let Ryan Davis go for 19, 9 higher than his season average. Brandon Parker, 18, 5 higher than his season average. Warren Specht had 9, a little below where he had been actually in his last couple games for the Patriots. And for the Braves, that really, at the end of the day, seemed to be the game plan, was take Dietrich Browning out of the contest, allow someone else to beat you. Early on, Francis Marion buoyed that with some really good three-point shooting, starting 5 of 6 from the floor, but they went just 4 of 16 after that point, finishing at 9 of 22 for a very good 41%, but it still just wasn't enough. 43% team shooting on 26 of 60, while the Braves shot 58% from the floor, 33% from 3 at 6 of 18 to get the win here tonight. 32-30 was the advantage on the glass for the Braves. They had a slight number on the offensive glass. In fact, as Francis Marion actually out-rebounded them, they're 11-8. Assist totals 14-13 in favor of the Braves. 16 Francis Marion turnovers to just 9 for UNC Pembroke. And then the fouls became a problem in that second half for Francis Marion. Of course, Browning fouled out. The Braves had 3 play with 4 who got all the way down to the end. And none of those 3 fouled out of Brandon Watts, Micah Kinsey, and Nigel Grant. So they all stayed safe in the contest for the Braves, who had 4 in double figures, and they had 5 and 6 knocking on the door with Kinsey and Watts both 1 point shy. Kinsey and Watts really had the big dunks down the stretch for the Braves. Of course, Kinsey had the takeaway for UNCP that ended in the steal. Brandon Watts got a nice leave, and he was able to throw it up with 2 hands. And that was really the final there for the Braves to get to 25-5 on the year. Francis Marion to 20-9, and their postseason for now is just put on pause as they will wait to see on Selection Sunday where they end up in this NCAA tournament picture. Again, you would think with where they were standing in the Southeast Region polls at 6th that they've got a good shot that they're making their school's second trip to the NCAA tournament, where they went to the Sweet 16 14 years ago. That was their last 20-plus win season. They're there again this year at 20-9. They put up a really good fight in multiple games this season with the Braves, but the Braves come out the victors in the third meeting to make it 2-1 on the season. They're going to have that same test now against Clayton State, but that series went in an opposite order. The Braves won the first of the 2 meetings, then lost here in Morrow just a couple weeks ago before finishing the season 10-1, with that one loss being here in Morrow. That was since that win against Francis Marion back on January 24th that the Braves were able to go 10-1. But 94-75, their final tonight. We still have Ben Miller coming up on the postgame. We're going to try to grab Akia Pruitt for the postgame as well. He finished with 20 points and 7 rebounds. Brandon Watts led the Braves in rebounding, got into double digits with 11 of them. Had 9 points to go alongside it, almost to that double-double. Look at some other tremendous numbers in this game. 5 assists for David Struther to just 1 turnover with the 2 points for the true freshman. A 19-point outing from Tyrell Kirk, the other true freshman for the Braves, and 16 for Nigel Grant. 14 for James Murray Boyles, the 5 for Jamal Bryant, and 2 for David Struther in this game for the Braves. For Francis Marion on their side, their leading scorer, Ryan Davis, with 19. Then it was Brandon Parker with 18 and 11 for Dietrich Browning. It was then 5 points for Victor Hunt, 4 each for Jaquez Smith and Judah Alexander, 3 points for Kendall Wall, and 2 points for Kingsley Waboso in this contest for the Patriots. 94-75, that final for the Braves. Again, Clayton State won earlier today, 73-70 over USC-Aiken to also punch their ticket to the championship game against the Braves. That'll be played here tomorrow afternoon. We've still got more of the post-game show to come to you tonight. We'll have the head coach of the Braves, Ben Miller, still upcoming after this here on the UNCP Sports Network.
When UNC Pembroke athletes train and compete, Scotland Healthcare System will be a part of the team as the official healthcare provider for UNCP athletics. Led by Ortho Carolina Scotland orthopedic physician Dr. Richard Alexander, their specialist will cover every football and men's basketball game. From practice drills to kickoff and tip-off, Scotland's medical experts will oversee training staff operations. It's one more way Scotland Healthcare is keeping its commitment to be there for the region, delivering closer care that's better by far.
The PBC is commitment.
The PBC is community.
The PBC is competition.
The PBC is character. We are the PBC.
So where does the money go? Almost all NCAA revenue supports 90 championships and more than 1,100 member schools that award $2.9 billion in scholarships each year. The NCAA creates a pathway to opportunity for nearly 500,000 student athletes by prioritizing academics, well-being, and fairness. Bottom line, we put our money where our mission is.
I came to the University of North Carolina at Pembroke for big school opportunities at a place that feels like home.
I came to UNCP for championship athletics.
I love our rich diversity and strong traditions.
And because UNCP is an NC Promise school, I'll graduate with a world-class education without a mountain of debt.
My professors know that I have big plans for my future, and they believe that I can get there from here.
Trevor Williams back with you inside the Athletics and Fitness Center at the campus of Clayton State University in Morrow, Georgia, where UNC Pembroke winners tonight 94-75 over the Francis Marion Patriots. Patriots had won 10 of their last 12 before falling here in the semifinal to your number 24 UNCP Braves. The co-regular season champs in the PBC will now have a chance to face off against that other Clayton State tomorrow afternoon. Last time the Braves were here in Morrow, they fell to Clayton State, and it was their only loss in their final 11 games of the season. They had a little winning streak going before that contest as well, as that second meeting went to the Lakers 83-73. The Braves went into that one winners of 7 straight. So when you total that all together, the Braves went 11-1 down the stretch with that lone loss to Clayton State in their final 12. That means the Braves tomorrow have a chance to settle that season series. They did the same tonight against Francis Marion, with that series coming in tied 1-1, and the Braves blew the doors off of this in the second half to get the 94-75 win, outscoring Francis Marion 57-43 in the second half of play. The Patriots were only down 5 at the break, 37-32, and they felt pretty good about that, considering that the Braves were shooting close to 60%. Francis Marion was still stuck at about 38%. You had a feeling that game was going to start moving towards heading to one of the last possession games that we had seen so many times in this series. 17 times in the series it went down to a final possession, but it was nowhere near that tonight here in Morrow, with, again, the Braves just able to run away late and did a really nice job of settling down Dietrich Browning for just those 11 points, a low in scoring for him on the season. He ends up 5 points shy of the PBC scoring record, now sitting with a career scoring mark of 2,000 2,329. He's looking for 2,334 as they pick up that 94-75 win. Number 24 Braves continue rolling here in the Peach Belt Conference Tournament. One they won a season ago in South Carolina. They went on the road and they were able to go rough shot through that in 3 games to pick up the conference crown. They'll try to do the same thing tomorrow night against Clayton State. Make it 6-0 in the last 2 years in the Peach Belt Conference Tournament. Last year was their first PBC tournament championship, and now back-to-back, maybe waiting in less than 24 hours' time. We'll take another timeout. Again, we're still waiting for those post-game interviews. We'll have Ben Miller and Akia Pruitt with us after this here on the UNCP Sports Network.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Adidas is the official apparel sponsor for all 16 of UNC Pembroke varsity athletic teams. Adidas provides some of the most innovative products in the shoe and apparel industry and is one of the most recognizable brands worldwide. We thank Adidas for all its support in offering UNC Pembroke the best for its student athletes. Go Braves!
Have you rewarded yourself lately? Now's your chance. Download #BraveNation, the free student rewards app for UNC Pembroke. Receive notifications about exclusive information within Brave Nation. Earn points for attending select Brave events. More points equal more rewards. Reward yourself today with #BraveNation. That's #BRAVE Nation. Available for free in the Google Play and App Store. #BraveNation. Get rewarded.
Across divisions, sports, championships, and schools for nearly 500,000 student athletes. College sports create lifelong opportunity, and that starts with education. We've raised the academic bar, so more are earning degrees, creating healthier campuses by working with the nation's brightest minds, and making sure more have the chance to succeed and are supported on their journey. But beyond the numbers, it's about opportunity, and we're working to provide it for every student athlete.
A 94-75 final tonight for UNC Pembroke over Francis Marion in the semifinals of this Peach Belt Conference Tournament. Now a date with Clayton State tomorrow afternoon to settle the season score, what was a season series tied at 1-1. With us now here on the postgame is Akia Pruitt, a 20.7 rebound performance tonight for the Braves. And Akia, let's talk about your guys' team energy coming into this game. You guys feel like you have something to prove. I feel like coming here to tomorrow, a chance to get back to Clayton State now. And what did you think coming into this game? What was the team mentality for you guys as you worked into this one?
Our goal was to come back and play hard because we knew Francis they were fighting for their season. We knew Dietrich and everybody would come out firing on all cylinders, so we just had to play that much harder than them and get back to Clayton State. That's the game we really wanted.
Early on in this game, of course, Francis Marion got hot from 3. They started 5 of 6. Where did you feel like you guys started to settle down defensively in this contest? About what point did you kind of feel like that started to click for you guys as a unit?
I want to say about the last 5 minutes of the first half. We came out shooting a lot of threes and jump shots, and Coach told us to settle down and get to the paint and shoot more free throws and stuff.
For you, it seems like, especially over your last few games, starting to get that shot really, really going. I mean, now you're up to 20 points in this game. You've been lights out in practice. You're in there defensively, mixing up down low. What have you been feeling lately that's been allowing your game to kind of blossom even a little bit more towards the end of this season?
Focusing on defense a lot has helped me. Just focus on defense, rebounding, stopping my man from scoring, and that builds off into my offense.
And what can you say about your guys' preparation for this game? I mean, it's easier said than done when you face a guy on the other side, and Dietrich Browning, who averages 25 points a game. You guys held him to a season-low 11 in this contest. What did you see in the game plan, and what's it like working with this coaching staff as you guys prepare for tournament games like this that kind of allowed you guys to shut down Dietrich?
It's very fun. Each one of our coaches break down the game and tell us what we have to do. Like with Dietrich Browning and a few of the other guys, we try to deny the ball and keep the ball out their hands and limit their touches so they can't get shots off.
Now, how excited is the locker room? I mean, you guys talked about wanting to get back to that game against Clayton State. It basically becomes a rematch of what we saw a couple weeks ago on their floor, their house, their fans in the tournament. Is that something that gets you guys really excited to play now tomorrow?
Yes, sir. That's something we've been looking for. We felt like we didn't play too good the first time, and we wanted it again the second time.
All right, well, you get that second chance tomorrow against the Lakers. Akia Pruitt, 20.7 rebounds. Thank you for the time. We look forward to watching you guys tomorrow in the championship.
All right, thank you.
That was Akia Pruitt with us here on the UNCP Sports Network. We'll have Ben Miller funnel in just a second. We'll talk with the head coach of the Braves as well on the heels of this 94-75 win from inside the Athletics and Fitness Center here at Clayton State. As Coach will pop on the headset now, we'll get a chance to talk with him about this victory. And Coach, this was a game we got to talk to both head coaches in this before the contest, and you guys kind of felt like it was going to be a slugfest. You guys really separated late, and a big part of that was the defensive effort tonight. But let's go back to the first 2 minutes of the game. You called a quick timeout. It seemed to maybe get your defense kind of back into rhythm, get the shot selection back where you wanted. How did you feel like your team adjusted after those first couple of minutes throughout this contest?
Well, honestly, I wasn't as upset with our defense as I was our offense.
Mm-hmm.
They, philosophically for them when they guard, they're aggressive. They try to get steals, and when they don't, sometimes there's quick open jump shots. And we just settled repeatedly for jump shot. And, it's great if they're going in, but if you're not attacking the paint first, you're not going to get to the free throw line. You're not going to get as good a looks, and you're really not putting pressure on them to guard the paint. Once we started doing that, our offense got a little bit better, and they shot it great. They were shooting 80% from three early.
Yep.
And our guys made some adjusted, tried not to overhelp as much off their shooters. They just got so many of them. It's challenging, but I like how our guys adjusted over the course of the game.
What did you think about this game as a whole in terms of the energy that your guys brought to it? You guys had, I think, a larger supporter group here than you thought you might have had in this conference tournament, but what did the energy feel like from your side in the semifinal?
Honestly, I was kind of blown away. It felt like a home game. I mean, first of all, I'd kind of forgot the band was coming.
Right.
Which was awesome. I love our band. They get into it. They love basketball. And, those students are giving up a spring break to come down here, and that's awesome. There's a lot of places they could be this week. But and then we're getting out of the bus, and Mickey and the Maniacs pull up in a big old van and hollering and hooting at the guys, and it just gives you that extra energy. And then you come out here and see all our other fans that I honestly didn't know that were coming, former players, family members that made the road trip. So that was really special.
Let's talk about your guys' defense, because you have to talk about when you hold a guy like Dietrich Browning to 11 points in a game. That's a season low for him this year. What did you see in your guys' scouting report and how you implemented it today that really kept Dietrich at bay?
Well, first of all, obviously, Akia has had a phenomenal year, Defensive Player of the Year. But I really felt like, we got, two other guys that if there was an all-defensive team, Brandon Watts and Micah Kinsey should or would be on it. And Brandon oftentimes gets the toughest assignment on the perimeter. And obviously Dietrich's really, really good, but I'm guessing that might have been a season low for him.
Mm-hmm, yep.
Give Brandon credit. Micah had stretches on him as well, and Micah kind of gives a different look with his quickness. Brandon's length bothers Dietrich a little bit sometimes, but also the big guys had to switch on him on ball screens, and our big guys are quick enough that it allows us to switch ball screens to try to take away penetration and using their length to contest. So it was definitely a team effort.
And now that you guys know you'll be taking on Clayton State tomorrow, kind of poetic in the way that it works out, that co-regular season champions now have a chance to decide it in the conference tournament. But how excited are you for a second chance at Clayton State here at their gym when they beat you guys here just a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, I think it's fitting. I mean, you got two great teams going at it, the Tide in the regular season. I mean, it's kind of storybook that, how you write it up, So I think it'll be an exciting game for the players, the coaches, the fans. It's kind of what you work for all year to have a chance to compete in these type of games.
All right, well, we'll look forward to seeing it tomorrow, less than 24 hours away now. We'll let you enjoy this one for a short period of time, I'm guessing, before you guys get prepped for that. Congrats on the win, Coach, and thanks for the time.
All right, thanks, Trevor.
That was Ben Miller with us here on the postgame, and that's going to do it tonight here from Morrow, Georgia. A 94-75 win for the Braves, and they've punched that ticket to settle the score tomorrow with the Clayton State Lakers. That'll be here on the UNCP Sports Network. Until then, this is Trevor Williams wishing you a pleasant evening from Georgia on the UNCP Sports Network.